Hey everyone, this is Rob,
And Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast on everything you need to know about old school RuneScape. Alright. Okay, so this week up on the docket, of course, as always, we'll be starting off with what we have been up to this week,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll be going right into the blogs for this week, which there's actually quite a few,
Yeah.
some L's and some W's, kind of a mixed
I don't
bag
know
this
what the
week.
L's are.
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
Starting off, we're gonna go over some last minute plushy things. I think the sale will be. Will it be? Do you know?
It's
Will it still be
ending
going?
shortly
Yeah, I was
after
like,
this goes out. You'll have over 24 hours though, so we will go over it still.
yeah. So I think if you want a plushie, generally you know about them, but if you don't, there's still plushies available. And then we'll be going over the new group boss, new and improved group boss, and then we have some more project rebalance stuff again. So we'll be going over that.
And more changes.
And Varlamore changes. But before we get into, oh, I'm sorry, before I forget, there's also a Q&A at the end. As per usual,
Oh
make
my
sure
god.
to get in on the Q&A. Ask us any questions you might have throughout the week on our socials or on our discord.gg/boonbape. We have a question section. Feel free to ask anything about the game or, yeah, really anything. And then, yeah, we'll get to it.
Ask us our favorite color. No one's ever asked that. That's how we know none of you really care.
Okay. Yeah. So make sure to ask us questions, and we'll be doing those at the end of the episode. But before we get into any of that, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going well. I have not talked much today. I feel like I'm in one of those moods, where I'm just like making my little jokes, laughing a little too hard.
Yeah.
So deal with that. Heads up, next week we likely will not have a podcast episode because I'm finally getting my teeth pulled. I'm so excited about it. Like if you've been listening to the podcast or stopped by the stream, I'm I have been talking about wanting my wisdom teeth out for a while. And I
Yeah.
thought I was going to before, but now it should be for sure. I even have like a prescribed mouthwash and everything in preparation. It's $1,500 by the way. So
Couple
that
bucks.
sucks. I had to get a medical credit card that if I don't pay off is like crazy interest.
All
So
right. People don't need to know
I just
this.
sure. And the week after that, I'm starting my new job. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
That's more interesting. Yeah. Yeah. No one wants to know what kind of debt you're going into to pay for your teeth.
I would want to know. Well, I guess that's because I'd want to know what I'd be getting into.
Yeah.
Well, anyone in the U.S. who wants their wisdom teeth removed, if you don't have great insurance, keep an eye out. It's not like you don't have an option.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm starting a new job in a couple weeks, and I'm gonna work at a call center. So I don't know how that's gonna be. But today I went and like got blood tested and stuff to make sure I'm like vaccinated against a bunch of stuff because it's kind of like medical field ish.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's you
well, I'm doing some medical
what
field.
you do in game?
I just want to update on everything.
I mean, you don't need to. You don't need to be like, oh yeah, it's in this field, so I had to take these tests before I went in there. Like it's okay. We
Can
can
you
be excited for the first part of that sentence.
say one more thing from real life?
Uh, is it okay?
Do you know what it's gonna be?
No.
So sometimes I see a stray cat on my
Oh,
walks.
okay.
And today I talked to a guy who lives in the house the stray cat's always hanging out at, and he told me that it had babies and the babies are living in a bush and hinted that I could have one of the babies whenever they get older. So just saying.
I mean, it's not his to give away, so.
Oh, I'd take the whole family, you're right. I'd be like, okay, come on, little mama cat. And then she'd bring her babies.
None of it is his to give away. What do you mean? So you would just steal these babies?
I'd get the mama
You
cat to
would
look at me.
steal them.
I try to pet this cat all the time. He came home from work and like as I was like walking by and the cat just ran up to him and started just like laying
Not,
on his back.
not me, this random dude.
Yeah, not Robert. Robert was on the phone with me and yeah, it was really cute. It was a cute seeing cat. And it's a mama cat. But anyway, in game, I have been doing stuff. So I'm still doing squishies bingo. I don't think we are doing that well. I thought we were doing really well, just to be clear. We have like one full bingo. We got a lot of tiles crossed out. I've not been looking at other teams for good reason because today I accidentally saw some other teams and I did not look long, but in my mind they had a lot more lines than me.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling a little scared about that.
Yeah, probably. You're probably not even close to winning, but it's okay.
Oh my god. One of the tiles is to get a pet, so I've been AFKing Scurious. I got Virtus robes because I finally have enough gold to just buy them and like still have extra money. So I've just been camping Scurrius for. Yesterday I was there for 10 hours. Today I've been here for almost 6 hours already. I am at 6,825 KC and I still don't got the pet. I'm literally doing it right now. Vertis rubs are like way better. I'm glad I finally did this because I, like yesterday, literally left our apartment to go and put laundry in a washing machine and came back and I was still alive.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm
that's pretty
doing
good.
Vertis and blood barraging. Would recommend. Other than that, bingo related, I was doing some Cerberus and I got a smoldering stone. So that was one of the things we needed. Like, we'll eventually need all the stones, but I got one and that was a collection log slot for me and it was 3 mil, so I'm happy about it. I also earlier today did a couple rounds of Perilous Moons and got one of the tops again. I don't even remember the name of it, but it was another mill. And
Huge.
we were doing Tobs, me, Squishy, Mew, someone else on our team, and then like dating Mew, dating and Villain. We raided with each of them. I don't remember who was in the raid, but Squishy got Navernic, so we got split, and that was 18 mil, and it was for the bingo. So exciting stuff. Really wish someday I could tell
Big
you
money.
guys I got Scurrius.
No, that's
Robin's
okay.
so mean. Whenever we were sitting here getting ready and I was opening up tabs, he's like, "You got it." I didn't.
I just said
Didn't.
it.
You.
I just said it. I thought you were waiting for 5 throwing battle axes or something. I
Like
don't even
not
know what
even
he
throwing
drops. They're
axes.
just regular battle axes.
Yeah, I don't. They don't even throw.
Okay.
But anyway, I have been having a lot of fun at the bingo, and yeah, hopefully I could get some more drops for us. So
Nice.
yeah, what are you up to? You went to
I
a lot.
yeah, I have well, not really, but I have been actually playing this week on my gym account.
Your gym account sounds like it's jacked.
He
You're getting
is.
yacked.
Yeah. Actually no. What did I do? I did the quest to unlock Perilous Moons.
Yeah, you did some Varlamore
I'd
stuff.
never been to Varlamore, so I went to Varlamore, unlocked all the quests, did Perilous Moons. The Blood Moon boss is easily one of the dumbest bosses and like least fun bosses. Like,
Okay, well, like
imagine killing a boss twice.
tell them also what weapon you're using because that made it way worse.
Well, I am using a DSIM because it's designed for content my level, and
Unlike Perilous
that's
Moons.
what I have.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's currently what I have. I on that account, I've only done like 10 or 20 of Barrows runs, and I've only ever gotten like armor pieces. So I don't have any better weapons. I just have
Hmm.
the DSIM. Anyways, I don't know if any of the weapons are even better without the full outfit.
Yeah. But you will
So
hopefully get a better outfit. Or no, a better weapon.
yeah. So I want to go back, but before I go back, I actually wanted to farm the zombie axe. I didn't think it would take as long as it's taking, but I'm already at like 1350 KC and it's 1 out of 800 drop.
Yeah, he's getting the scurriest experience at these zombies.
Yeah. So I'm going a little bit dry and it's kind of annoying because originally I was using my I was like bursting them with
Oh, chinchompas.
chinchompas, and actually had a decent amount. I had like 1,400 red chins, and I think like 400 or 600 gray chins, and I used all of those a long time ago. And now, because I just ran out of those, I'm just mailing them.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna take a lot longer if you can only kill one at a time.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but the trips can be longer because eventually they de-aggro, and then I can just kind of kill one at a time. It's annoying because they do attack in melee and range, so you
Yeah.
can't really pray against them. But they don't really hit that hard, and my defense is actually kind of okay.
If you have the money for it, would it be worth bringing a dwarf cannon?
I don't have a dwarf cannon,
Well, if you
and
had like
I don't
250 or
have the
whatever.
cannonballs either.
Irons. You're so
Yeah,
just buy
so
it.
I actually am playing the game. I don't just buy all the
You can't.
progress in the
You
game.
can't log in for 3 days and give me sass for playing the game.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Sassy. What did you want from Perilous Moons? You wanted the
Yeah,
blood
I wanted
ritual?
the dual maracas.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're a really, 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 really good weapon. And also, I mean, I want the full blood set because it's like,
Bandos.
yeah, comparable to Bandos, but it does cost, for me to repair the full set of gear. What is it going to be like 4 or 5 million GP?
I think it's like a mill a piece or something to repair.
It's 1.5 million per piece. So
Ew. It does have a lot of charges at first, to be fair, but
I think, but still,
You have to be making a lot of money once you get it.
it costs nearly 5 million GP to repair the whole
Jeez.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that gets improved with like your armor levels, if you have like an armoring thing in your house, or if you just have to take it to Bob's Axes. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it.
For reference, for anyone that doesn't know, it costs like 300K to repair a Barrow's armor.
Yeah, it's a lot more expensive.
Yeah,
I think
so
it's a lot better.
yeah, no, for sure, you're right.
Was there a reason that you wanted that, or you just like in general want better melee? I wasn't sure if Varlamore was a step on the way to somewhere else. I couldn't remember.
No,
Okay, you just want in
yeah, I
general.
just generally want it. Also,
Okay.
it's like pretty much best in slot mage for me at the moment. So especially once they update it and give it like the extra 1% damage on each of the blue moon pieces.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be really good. And then the range is whatever. I mean, range armor doesn't really matter. So, um, and funny enough, the mage armor wouldn't have mattered besides the fact that they're buffing all of them. So it's kind of funny.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Did you see the capybaras?
No, I have not come across the capybaras.
Okay.
I just did the quest, held down spacebar, and then like paid the least amount of attention that I could.
That's how you know he didn't do all the quests because two of the quests lead you directly to capybaras.
No, yeah, I mean, I just admitted I only did the one
I
quest.
thought you said I did all the quests. I misheard
No,
you
I
then.
did all the quests leading up
Oh, to
to
Perilous
Perilous Moons.
Moons.
I only did the absolute minimum I needed to do.
Someone's gonna feel very silly when they stumble upon those beautiful angels.
Okay, I mean, I've seen them.
You saw when you saw the
Um,
alpacas, you were excited. You're like, you didn't tell me there were babies. Which,
oh,
to be fair,
yeah,
I
you
don't know if
didn't
I
tell
told
me,
him.
yeah.
They're so cute.
Oh, but before I forget, I did want to mention because we were talking about how expensive it is to like
Get your wisdom teeth
no
to repair it.
how expensive it is to repair it. It's kind of funny. It like has become kind of a topic in like the iron community, especially like this week. Like money making has come up like quite a few times, and it's kind of interesting because I mean I was kind of already aware of a couple of these, but there are a couple that I wasn't aware of as really good money makers early on.
Okay.
Number one being the zombie pirates, the new ones that they
In the
introduced
wildy.
in the wilderness. Apparently, that's like, over a million GP an hour or something like that.
That's crazy. You could just do that and get the Blood Rager set. Easy.
Oh, well, yeah. And some people are like saying how they, their stories or whatever. They're like, oh, I went there for a day. I got like 6 million GP. I got PK'd for like 400K one time, but it wasn't like that big a deal. I've heard there's a lot of bots there because there's like no entry besides having overheads.
Okay.
So that's kind of annoying. But another random one, and this is way more random, is because I mean they introduced the zombie pirates as a way to make money, so I guess that
Mhm.
makes sense. But people are saying that the fever spider mob,
They like
did they
they
buff them?
they drop herbs now.
Oh no, they
Like
drop
an
they
herb.
drop alkables.
They drop alcohols too.
Yeah, they drop like
We mentioned it last week, saying that they drop a certain type of herb.
oh no no no, I don't remember
I
that.
think. I don't
But
know if I made this up. Now it's sounding more fake since you don't remember.
yeah, I don't remember that at all. But fever spiders in like the
It's
basement of the
the
rum
brain
deal.
area.
Yeah, the brain deal. You have to start the rum deal quest
What's
in
that
order to get
area
there.
called?
I don't know.
Brain rot or something. That's
Okay.
just my daily experiences.
Brain rot. Yeah, so if you go into the basement there, you'll find the mobs and you kill them. They're just regular spiders. You have to have like a certain slayer. It's like a pretty low slayer to kill them. And they drop like their loot table is literally 5 alchable items and then like the regular rare drop table or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
like red d'hide pants, like a couple rune items, and then like a couple addy items or something.
Spider's weirdly a very good Slayer task.
Yeah, and people are like sharing their strategies, and they're like, "Oh, I'm able to kill this many with only using a cannon. Like they don't even have to interact with mobs at
Nice.
all." And yeah, so we were saying you can get like 400. Some okay. I saw a few people say they can get like 4 to 500K an hour there by like just like AFKing essentially,
Yeah.
and there's no overheads and there's no bots usually. Um, so that's way cooler, and obviously you can't get PK'd there, so that's pretty cool. But some people were like, "Oh, I can get like this much with the cannon, and I'll get like 2 million GP an hour." I'm like, "Okay, that's way higher than anyone else has said." So
Seems unrealistic.
I was kind of planning on going there after I get the zombie axe because I don't think it would, but I don't want it to get nerfed.
The zombie X?
No,
Oh, the
the
spider.
high elks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just go as soon as you can.
Yeah, so I was gonna get the zombie axe and then go there for some money because have like 1.5 million, but it'd be nice to have
Yeah,
more.
that's enough to repair the Maracas once
Yeah.
or something.
Well, you don't need to
I
repair
just
the
need the
weapons.
top for it.
Yeah. So that's why I was thinking about going there for a little bit. But I was also, other people were recommending places that I already
Like
knew.
Gargoyle's a good one, right? Or
Um,
okay one.
yeah, but you need really high Slayer for that.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, it's like 80 or something. Or it's 77, I
How many
think.
leagues it did take me a while to get there.
Yeah. So I wasn't planning on going there. I was planning on like testing out Revenants
Okay. He's
because,
been doing you didn't mention it, but you've also been doing the Wilderness Slayer.
oh, yeah,
And you
yeah.
didn't get PK'd at all, did you?
No, I AFK'd 100 lesser demons in the Slayer cave, and I only saw one person ever, and I didn't even see them. I just saw that a thing had died, so I was like,
Oh,
someone there.
yeah.
But yeah, the Slayer cave was pretty chill. I got like a decent amount of like alkables and stuff like that.
He's not afraid of the wilderness.
I mean, yeah, I just AFK'd all of them, and it was cool
It's
because
crazy.
they dropped enough supplies, like blighted supplies, that I didn't even have to go back. Like once I was there for, like, I used my inventory of swordfish, and that gave me enough supplies that I didn't even have to leave after like the 90 kills that I did.
Oh, so you did it all in one trip?
Yeah, so I did it all in one trip.
That's way better too.
It's funny because it gives a bunch of teleports, like the Garrock teleport or the Carol or whatever teleport
All
through
the
the
willy
wilderness
ones.
ones. The only one that I can use is the Revenant Cave teleport because all the other ones have requirements. Like you have to be on the other diary or the other
Oh, the
spell
spellbook
book
that
to
has to be
use it.
unlocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, completely useless, but it was pretty cool.
You'll have it.
I got two Laren's keys too, which is pretty nice.
Did you turn those in yet?
No, because it's like 55 wildy or something like that.
Oh, kind of scary.
I just don't run out there very often. I was going to run out there and do some wilderness agility, but one, people say apparently they just go there to farm people for like on the
Yeah, he
reg.
said it's just like you're getting picked off one by one.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, maybe that's another place that I was like, people are like, oh, this is an easy moneymaker, like Revenant Caves and the the wilderness agility course because
If you're lucky, no one's
people
there
are
though.
like, oh, I made like 6 mil just running laps in like a few hours, and it's like, all right, that's cool if you don't get PK'd.
I feel like places like that, you'd probably want to go for skilling mostly, and if you get extra money, it's an extra. You don't go there just for money because then you'll get very pissed if you die.
Yeah,
That's like me at Vedion. I don't go to Vedion for money because I just know I'm gonna get PK'd. Like it's not even in my mind that I'm getting loot there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to go there specifically, kind of like half and half for loot, half for the XP, because I'm like
Yeah.
71 agility or something, and I mean, especially with the
Because that's just
shortcuts
more.
now, it'd be nicer to be higher.
Yeah, so many
So I
shortcuts.
like teleported to 50 Wildy and then realized that I didn't bring the 150k, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go do the perilous moons, and that's what I did
You have to
instead.
bring the cash,
You
right?
have to bring the cash.
If it doesn't withdraw from your bank, it's very annoying.
Yeah,
I remember you were not happy.
yeah, it was
You're
kind
like,
of
this
dumb.
sucks.
Yeah, it was kind of stupid, but yeah. So I guess that was the side tangent. So I'm gonna do the zombie axe, get some money maybe from Fever Spiders because I got to do the rum deal anyways.
Not.
So I might as well do that, and then this is kind of how it works in RuneScape, weirdly enough, because I was like, oh, if I do the rum deal, then I should just go get a Slayer mask because you unlock that from the same
The axe
quest
will make that
line.
grind better than a dragon scimitar.
Yeah, the only annoying thing is those guys, they're melee mage.
You can pray melee against them and it protects
Yeah, I
completely.
know, but
But if you're
it's
not
just
using
it's just
protection,
annoying because it'll take it'll take pots. I can't like go there and tank is what I mean.
yeah.
Like the
I
zombies are
used to have
nice.
blood velds and I always get messed up.
Yeah, that's why the zombies are nice because even though they're taking forever to drop the zombie axe, I can tank like if I have 60 health, it'll like I can probably kill like 3 or 4 or 5 more things before I have to like actually worry about my health.
Yeah.
So, but not with unfortunately not with the whatever they called the
What are they called? Oh, the cave horrors.
cave horrors. Yeah, yeah.
That's what they call you.
Okay. But
Man of the woods.
yeah. So I think that's it. So that's all I was working on. Honestly, there's really not a ton to talk about this week as far as community updates go.
Okay, probably for the best because we do have a lot of notes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess shout out to I think it was Rendy got a all level 1 fire cape.
Jesus.
I don't know what they did. They didn't disclose what they did because they already have a level 3 fire cape. So I don't know like I,
I'm assuming it's the same thing,
I
right?
don't know. It was just 2 more levels. It's like still impressive obviously, but I don't know how much more
Well,
impressive it is than the other.
level three is
Um,
whenever you start. So doesn't that mean I don't know? I need to see the post. You can
no.
just screenshot that one, I think.
They're still combat level 3, but like all
Oh.
of their after they got the kill, all of their stuff is still level 1.
Oh, they didn't level up during it.
No.
Oh, whoa, wait, how do you do that? Like
Yeah.
poison
I'm
dagger or
guessing
whatever?
I don't know. I was guessing it was just like some kind of infinite recoil trick
Yeah.
because then that way, well, because with the poison dynamite, I think you still might get health XP
There's ways to do
or maybe
it. I
not.
don't remember what it is, but I didn't think about the fact that they didn't level at all. So they were
Yeah,
probably just using purple sweets, flicking the entire, or like ticking the entire time
that's what I
too.
was saying. Like I think there was just purple sweet flicking with a recoil, like a the infinite recoil glitch. I think you can do with the whatever ring of suffering.
Dude, some people play this game so crazy. Like
Yeah,
I can't even imagine coming up with that idea
yeah.
and
So I mean,
planning it.
there was like stuff like that, or like other stuff. I guess that was kind of like funny or whatever here or there, but nothing that I really felt like was worth updating everyone on.
Okay.
I guess this is the only one that I have screenshotted.
Um,
Is
we have a
that
second one as well.
the account Trade for Off? I don't know who they are, but they're a hardcore Iron Man with multiple rank 1
And the wildy.
wilderness bosses, and they died.
Dang.
3,000 Calvarion kills, which by itself was pretty crazy, and 366 Tombs of a Mascot expert modes.
Wow.
Yeah, they also have rank 1 Chaos Fanatic and Crazy Archaeologist, so
And rank 2 Scorpio, which
rank
is
2
deep,
Scorpio.
deep wildy.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
they played hardcore to the maximum,
And they
but
died hardcore.
yeah, no longer.
Hopefully it wasn't like to DC. I feel like that's the worst.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't look into it.
There is a little bit more community news. I didn't see if it got updated,
Oh,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
on Twitter, they said that the RuneFest account said that they were not going to release the extra tickets yet, and they'll announce more later. And supposedly, everyone, like for Insomnia, got laid off. So,
Yeah.
like, the future of Insomnia is unknown, and RuneFest is going to be inside of Insomnia. So now people are not sure if RuneFest is going to be canceled. I didn't look into it anymore today, but that was just stuff that was happening yesterday.
Yeah, so for anyone that was waiting for those tickets to be on sale today, they aren't on sale today.
Yeah, they announced like a day before, and I'm like, okay,
I mean, I don't
cool.
think they could have announced it earlier than when they got fired.
True. But yeah,
So,
I know Raniel at least was sad about it,
yeah,
but hopefully they
unfortunate.
won't cancel it for everyone because I know a lot of people have already bought tickets, and a lot of airline stuff is not refundable. It's only exchanging for later or whatever.
Yeah, unfortunate.
So,
But we could probably move on to the actual updates. We'll quickly go over the plushies because, like we said, if you know, you probably know. But if you don't, I guess a quick notice is that there's plushies for sale until the 18th.
yeah, and they're really cute. Just a reminder of what they all are. Also, before I say that, actually, there is discounts if you buy multiple. So 5% if you buy 2, 10% off if you buy 3, and 15% off if you buy all 4 plushies. The first one is a cute noob. They'd never showed him standing before, and when he's standing, he looks so goofy. But he has an axe and a little net with shrimps in him. I literally want this plushie just because I want the shrimps. If they just sold the shrimps alone, I'd be happy. Next is a dragon chain body warrior. It's just a player wearing complete dragon chain body with the D-Med helm and a shield and a scimitar. This is you at the zombies,
I
huh?
mean, it's a dragon square shield.
Oh, what did I call it? A dragon shield.
Yeah, it's
There's only
come
one.
on. No, there's not.
The next one, I can't believe they did this. They actually made a plush out of Megan's League's character.
True.
It's
No, I mean hers isn't even gold trimmed. It's like
True.
not even that prestigious.
It is a character wearing all rune, but is gold trimmed. If you guys don't know, during leagues, Megan did not unlock any good areas for melee gear, so she was wearing rune armor in our tops.
Yeah.
And finally, the Virtus robe set. These ones actually look really cute on it. And it comes with a little ancient scepter. The ancient scepter's looking a little flat though.
Yep. A
Not
little
that
bit.
crazy. Did I also don't know if I told you guys, but I surprised Robert and got him the Vorkath plush, and that got here a couple weeks ago. I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
if I said it.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, it has a little elite clue and like little dragon bones, and we keep doing a little prayer motion with the dragon bones every couple days.
True.
Yeah, they're sitting on his desk. It's really cute.
But
The
yeah.
plushies are actually very good quality. I would recommend if you like the designs. Like they're pretty good.
Yeah. So those are for sale. So
Mm-hmm.
make sure to grab them, I guess. I mean, they do these from time to time. So like I said, if you know, you
Yeah.
probably know.
And this is literally your last chance to get it. These are once in a lifetime things. You know, like
Once in a millennia.
once forever.
Okay, there we go.
So go get it.
Speaking of once in forever, we
I don't know if
have
it's
the group
comic.
boss. Well, I mean, we're not going to repoll this group boss.
I mean, there's a chance we will. That's some RuneScape stuff that we'd
No,
repull
no,
it.
no, no, no. We've never repulled a boss in the game. So,
I feel like we would though.
group boss, Varlamore, part dos, which is
Yeah.
2.
Part way.
We're going to go and start off saying, thanks to the more than 6,000 of you. We already went over this boss, right?
We did, but we didn't go over all this.
Yeah, so these are all, I was just making sure that everyone knows about this boss.
We talked about it last week. If you did not listen, go back and listen or read their news post about the Varlamore group boss.
Yeah,
'Cause
these
this
are
is the second
updates.
post.
Yeah, these are updates to the previous post, so you might be confused because we're just going to jump into it. I'm not going to go over the whole last post.
I want to say, they said, thanks to the more than 6,000 you filled in the survey. I was thinking about that. I didn't fill in the survey. You didn't. I don't know anyone that filled in the survey. And I was
It
thinking,
was over fairly rapidly.
and I was thinking again about how much tickets they had for RuneFest. They're like, we didn't know 2,000 people would want to go. I'm like, 6,000 people took the time to fill out this survey. I'm still just like in awe that they thought that'd be enough tickets at first.
Yeah, and it was crazy because by the time we went to review the actual poll, it was already over.
The
So
survey, yeah.
the survey wasn't up for more than a week.
It was a very short survey. 6,000 people filled it out, and they're like, wait, more than 2,000 people play this
Yeah,
game?
if they left it up for a full week, like I don't know why they don't. That's kind of like a very short amount of time in and of
Yeah.
itself. But anyways, 6,000 people were still able to do the survey.
Crazy. They do have a summary of the changes, but I think we're going to like fully get into it.
Sure, we will.
I want you to read this part.
So, a winged
Why did you
beast.
say winged?
Because I said it the way I said it.
You know, can I pause for a second? I'm sorry. Someone pointed out last night that I use the word whenever when I could say when, like frequently. And I'm very aware of it. I'm like, oh, whenever I was doing this thing. And they're like, why don't you just say when I was doing this thing? Anyway, I'm very aware of it. Continue.
Okay. We'll start with one of the more interesting points of feedback we saw. A lot of players looked at the mighty Rainbow Dragon and saw a quote unquote dragon. Now, this
Well, the name
wasn't.
like Rainbow Dragon.
Yeah.
That's not its name.
Now, this wasn't originally our intention, so the lore implications will still need to be worked out. However, with the changes to the dueling wand, it makes sense to introduce a matching weakness to the boss. Consequently, the Rainbow Dragon is now draconic and is weak to Dragonbane weaponry, including the dueling wand.
So, spoiler alert: the dueling one is going to be Dragonbane.
Yeah. And Michelle was so keen to have me read this because she was saying,
They called it a serpent.
yeah,
They called it a serpent. Robert was like, it looks like a worm, but he was calling it a dragon. They literally called it a serpent.
yeah, okay. So I think the whole thing was that they referenced it as several different things in their post between serpent and dragon, and it looks the same model as a worm, but longer and more colorful.
I'm still not convinced they ever referred to it as a dragon. I think Robert just saw it and was like, it's a dragon.
Okay. Whatever you want. Anyways,
It's a dragon now.
yeah, apparently it's a dragon now. I was saying that it could have potentially been cooler and maybe even avoided some points of controversy with the next thing that we're about to talk about. If this boss was a different thing and not just a dragon. Maybe it
Okay.
was a worm or a serpent, and then you had serpent and or wormbane weaponry.
I would like to say, very bold of you to say that this should not be a dragon when the entire last episode and today you've been calling it Rainbow Dragon.
Yeah.
And you don't want it to be a dragon though?
I mean, names don't define
Oh
things.
my god.
They're for you to understand and recognize the reference of something.
Okay.
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 So if I call you a rat doesn't mean you are a rat, although you are.
I call you baby mouse because you're a baby mouse. So I feel like
See,
what I call things is directly true.
yeah, so
Can we change the subject before we continue on?
the way you use it is weird.
Stop it.
But yeah, so now it is draconic and demon bane weaponry is going to be used against
Dragonbane.
it. Dragonbane, whatever. Demon bane sucks, but dragonbane weaponry is actually good and will be probably best in slot at this boss. And yeah, I don't know. Like I said,
It's whatever to me.
it's kind of whatever, but also I feel like this is just like how many dragon type things. Like, why don't you just add more of other types of mobs? It didn't need to be a dragon.
I mean, they didn't want to be a dragon, but it was like, this is a dragon.
This is also what I was saying is whenever you brought this up, because we were talking about this earlier today, is they kind of made it seem like everyone wanted it to be a dragon. I think everyone just wanted you to tell us what it was.
Yeah,
And
because
then-
they even say like the lore implications need
Yeah.
to be changed, and I'm like,
you could have just
you could have just been like, oh no, you guys, it's a serpent.
you could have been like, oh, this is our game. And you're asking us what type of mob this is? Oh, I'll just decide that this is this type of mob, not, oh, right. I guess we'll bend over backwards and make it a dragon. Like,
Yeah.
no, it looks like a dragon. Everyone's calling it a dragon. You could have called it like a giant rat, and everyone would be like, okay, sure.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with what, like you said, having a worm called Rainbow Dragon
Yeah,
for
I
no
mean,
reason. Just have a serpent and we nickname him Rainbow Dragon. That's okay.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. It just seems like kind of weird. I don't know why they make everything dragons. Dragons are one of the most popular things in the game. We don't need more dragons.
Yeah. I mean, I think that this could be the last for a second. I mean, for like this reason. So going straight into the dueling wand, they're basically adding a mage dragon banging weapon, which I don't think we actually have yet.
No, we don't.
Yeah, so that's actually kind of cool. So I could see this being like the last dragon for a while, you know, because now we have one of all three.
Yeah.
But anyway, so one of the biggest conversations we saw was about which space this hotly debated weapon was trying to fill. As many of you pointed out, that space has already been filled quite recently with the Warped Scepter. In addition, its strength came from Earth spells, which will only see real benefit with the upcoming Project Rebalance changes. And this is how the dueling wand was proposed last week, is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Although we think the original design is in a great spot, it's unfair for us to ask you to judge this weapon before you've seen the rebalance changes for yourself. Even when it does launch, it will take time for the new meta to be established, and by that point, the wand will have already been pulled. So we don't have like a real opportunity for it.
Yeah.
Click a prayer palm, I'm about to run out of Scurious.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just constantly at Scurious. Anyway, we're stepping away from elemental weapons until Project Rebalance has been realized so that the community and team alike can figure out where the gaps in your armories are and what new rewards might fill that space. So instead of how they previously described it, the dueling wand will now be a Dragonbane weapon with plus 50% Dragonbane accuracy and plus 20% Dragonbane strength. Not only will it be effective against the Huicoatl herself, which is Rainbow Dragon in Robert's words,
Yeah.
it'll be a stepping stone towards more powerful Dragonbane weapons like the Dragon Hunter Lance or Crossbow. We'll also give the weapon an extra plus 5% magic strength. Lastly, we're removing the dueling shot spell and instead allowing you to autocast any combat spell from the standard spellbook, which means that the wand will benefit from all elemental tomes. But because of this, it also means that the weapon cannot cast any spells at 3 ticks and will cast standard spells at 5 ticks.
I thought you got the pet.
No, I got a spine again. I've gotten like 300 spine. Actually, over 200 spines is ridiculous.
A lot of spines.
But yeah, kind of a bummer that it's not going to be as quick. I mean, I don't know how fast the Warp Scepter is. I am on a main, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't really think it matters, the speed.
yeah. Tell us your thoughts.
What do you think the name of the weapon should be now?
They want to change the name away from the dueling wand.
Well, I don't think it was ever a good name, and it never made sense because
It's
one,
a PvP thing.
yeah, you're not dueling anything. This is like an ADV1 boss.
Yeah, you're not dueling anything. That's fair. I don't think it's a bad name, but the situation's kind of random for it. It sounds like maybe it'd be like an LMS thing or bounty hunter
Yeah,
movie.
this is like a Harry Potter-esque name for a wand, and I'm like,
Yeah, I don't love that name, but they are gonna change it. I think that honestly they'll now just call it like a dragon hunter wand. Like that just makes sense to me.
yeah, I
But
guess so.
I do like that it's a dragonbane mage weapon. I think that's cool. It feels like a little niche left there. And they're all about filling niches.
I was thinking it would have been. I still definitely think it's a missed chance they didn't go like serpent or worm,
Yeah,
because then it
wormbane.
would have been. I would have just called it like serpent's tooth wand. That would have been cool because it
Like
could have
its
been one of
tooth.
its. Yeah, it could have been one of its tooths.
Its toots.
I don't know, but because I think it has like a crazy teeth. Yeah, it has crazy teeth.
It's not like you said it's toots. That's why I was laughing.
Oh no,
It's
you're
like
just a
it's
sicko.
just like farts that you're
All
throwing.
right. I in general do not like this.
Okay. Elaborate. Is it
Um,
because you're a hater?
no, mainly I'm tying a lot of this back to it being a missed opportunity and them just being like, all right, it's a dragon because everything in the game is a dragon. You know, we got blue, red, green, black, every color
Iron,
under the
bronze,
sun.
steel.
Brian, we got every element dragon. We got the blue dragons, the blue boss dragons.
Now we got rainbow
Olm's a
dragon.
dragon. Everything is a
Holmes
dragon
a
in this game.
salamander.
You can use Dragonbane weaponry against him. He's a dragon.
Fair.
So that's why I'm like, okay, you could have easily just made this like a worm type mob, and then this weapon would have been good against this boss and other worm type mobs in the game. Mainly, obviously, the worms under the, you know,
Corrend.
yeah,
Corum.
under Karom. So, but by doing this, now it's kind of like weird because they even said, one of the mods replied and said that whenever they do introduce elements into the game, the elemental damage is going to stack with the 20% Dragonbane strength on this weapon,
That's kind of weird.
which is going to make it kind of weird. Like, is it going to start competing? For instance, I think a lot of people or someone was doing the math, whoever, some guy
Nautilus.
was doing the math, and they're all like,
Girls can't do math.
nope. And so they were saying that this isn't going to be like a big meta changer, like a lot of the best in slot stuff will still blow this away by a mile against like Vorkath and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But like once you introduce the extra 50%, because a lot of the things that they were comparing it against that I noticed were charged staffs.
Hmm.
This is a staff that can use the regular spell book. So because of that, like, is it going to become like randomly a really, really good weapon against certain bosses? Because I mean, obviously it won't probably still beat things like the Shadow.
I'm imagining it won't be as good as other Dragman weapons because the other ones come from literal raids and Hydra. And they're saying this one's going to be like way more chill, is my impression.
You would think that, but if they go through with the elemental stuff, this is going to be 50% damage on top of the 20% Dragonbane strength.
Well, I mean, each dragon is going to have a different percent weakness from Earth, right? Does it say how much this
No.
will be? So this one might be less.
They're all weak to, which I think everyone is assuming is 50% or more.
Maybe this one's less.
Yeah, I mean they would have to adjust it, I think, individually if they went ahead with this,
Yeah.
because this kind of makes it like weird because like I said, everything in the game is a dragon like.
Yeah, stuff like this, I have a harder time like imagining like is it going to be too good combined with other stuff? I think that they should address it so then
Yeah.
they could explain it to me because I don't totally get it.
Yeah, I kind of think they phoned this one in. Like I think it's cooler than the original idea, but I
But still needs tweaking.
still don't think it's a very good idea, and like I said, I'm mostly upset that they could have just gone in a different direction than this is a dragon, everything's a dragon.
You're just over dragons.
Well, like I said, everything in the game is a dragon. Why is there so many dragons in this game? I get it.
Even stuff that's not dragons is Dragonbane.
Yeah, literally. It's like,
It's a salamander.
yeah, Olm looks like a little slug and he's a
He's a
dragon.
gizzard.
Yeah, like, okay. But yeah, and
Anyway.
also it being 5 ticks is not interesting either.
Yeah, but I mean that's just standard spells.
But we do have a new reward.
Yes, this is funny because this is something that Robert was bringing up last week. I don't know. I think you saw like people posting about
Other
this.
people were posting
Okay,
this. Yeah.
other people posted about, but Robert brought it to my attention.
Yeah.
So, from something old to something new, we saw comments that you expected at least a few more uniques from Group Boss. With that,
Yes,
yes,
that's what I was saying.
we were both like, yeah, there's like 3 drops. With that feedback in mind, we've added a new range set, which is, I mean, not a bad idea. So this set will consist of a head, body, legs, and vibrances, and will be an improvement over Blessed D'hide armor with an extra 9 points of magic defense and a total of +8 prayer bonus across the 4 pieces. The set will require 40 defense and 70 range to equip, apart from the legs and vibrances, which will have no defense requirement.
Yeah.
They want feedback on this because this is their first time bringing it up.
Yeah, dude. So
Thoughts?
what do you think?
I mean, overall, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Overall, I like the idea of D'hide to. I was thinking something in between Blessed and Black D'hide. I wasn't expecting it to be better than Blessed D'hide, but I don't use Blessed, so I don't know like how great it is. So this seemed like I think I like that better. D'hide would come from something other than clues. So the only way to get Blessed D'hide is via clues. But you I like it. But you were saying irons might not like it, or some irons
Oh,
publicly don't like it at least.
yeah. Well, I personally saw a few people posting, and I guess I kind of understand where they're coming from,
Okay.
but they were saying that they didn't like this because they personally, and they had a few upvotes, so I mean, some people agreed with them that they,
They're out alts.
yeah, all their alts, yeah, probably, but they liked the like medium like level, like medium combat level, medium account level grind that Iron Man's had to do, or I guess any new account, but primarily Irons, that
Mhm.
had to be like, all right, if I want something better than Black D'hide, or probably you're not going to farm Black D'hide. Let's be honest. I mean, you're not going to craft Black D'hide.
You're gonna get it from random
Yeah,
places.
you're gonna get it from random places. So it would be like, it's usually a nicer grind to go and get something that's better than Black D'hide, being the blessed stuff. So
Hmm.
I can see where they're coming from, where they're like, that was something that made you want to go do clues, because I don't like doing clues, but that might make it worth it.
Yeah.
So I can see where they're coming from. I don't agree.
Okay. What do you think?
I am thinking something differently
Oh, okay. You're like a
entirely.
whole third thing. Okay.
Yeah, mainly I don't really have a problem with this set.
Okay.
One, because I think being required to do treasure trail stuff, which is like collection log type stuff for account
PVS
progression,
stuff and
any
even
account
attacking
any
race.
account
Yeah.
progression that's real is kind of foolish, because that doesn't pertain to, that'd be like farming PvP content for PvE gear. That has, like, that type of stuff has
It's
never
like
made sense
me
to
wanting
me.
to have to do bounty hunter eventually to get the
Yeah.
ornamental
Or
kits.
it'd be like, all right, I gotta go do this Sudoku puzzle so I can unlock the new like food recipe. Like, that wouldn't make sense. It's so
They're just disconnected.
non-adjacent that it
Hmm.
just doesn't make sense to me. So, um, that's why I don't really like the blessed D'hide being a clue thing. So I'm okay with this.
Okay.
That being said,
Your third thing.
my big problem that I've seen is, like, I wanted new stuff to come from this boss, but obviously it's been a thing in the game for a long time, and this is probably something I'll bring up in the future when they do this again.
Okay.
Undoubtedly they will. Is every time something new comes out, an entire set of something comes out with it, right?
Oh yeah.
It's never just one weapon or one something. It's an entire new thing.
Well, I think okay. We'll continue, and then I'll see if I still remember the point I was gonna make.
Okay. And I was going to say, this puts the game in a really weird spot where it's already difficult, especially after all the years, where whenever they come out with new content, you then have to come out with a whole new set of gear and find a whole new niche that it fills all of a sudden. And it can't be too strong and it can't be too weak, or it'll be dead content or overpowered when it
Yeah.
comes out. So I'm suggesting, why don't we break this weird cycle that is self imposed? No one's all like, oh, why don't we have a full set every time? No one's asking that. Why don't you
True.
have the boss drop one piece?
and it's
Just
just
one
good.
piece.
You know what makes it? This is self-imposed. Is that every time that there's new armor, they have set bonuses. So there's like no
Yeah.
encouragement to like mix stuff. Because I was thinking of the fighter torso actually. Fighter torso is like good early on, but as soon as you could get the full bando set, you're like, all right, I'm gonna have a full set because everything's like better when it's the full set.
Yeah, that's kind of like a really big problem and like a pigeonhole that's self-imposed because it's like then it's like eventually from what I'm seeing like you're just going to want to have full sets. Not
Hmm.
like they give you any inherent bonus other than the certain set bonuses that come with it, but like I think maybe we should try and move as a game towards sets are kind of a thing that rarely comes by and you wear them because they have set bonuses. Like we don't need 3 or 4 new pieces of gear to come from this boss.
You could just have one.
If there was a new head that came with like a weird rainbow dragon head ornament to distinguish it,
Could be kind of cool.
it would be interesting visually, and it would be like, oh, this is a small upgrade. Obviously I'm going to go for this because I have the extra money
True.
to go for
Yeah,
this.
we're like, give us more rewards. They gave us 4 more rewards because it's a whole
Yeah,
set.
because like not only does this become the new best in slot until you get to the level where it's not, which is very end game,
Hmm.
then it's all right. Now you've just obsoleted all 6 sets of the blessed d'hide.
Well, I actually do almost like that they're making it better than D'hide because it's something that we've talked about before that it seems like they never want to push the boundaries and make some stuff like higher than others. Mostly we talk about in terms of like XP, but I feel like a few weeks ago I would imagine that they'd be like, "We're releasing new D'hide," and it comes right before Blessed D'hide.
Yeah,
Like they're pushing the bar a little bit more, and I'm glad to see them doing that. But I do agree, it's like there's a lot of sets in this game.
I agree with you, but I think,
This
in
is a
my
bad time for it.
opinion, they did it incorrectly here because
Okay.
this supersedes blessed d'hide in every way.
Mm-hmm.
And the 1-2 punch here is that it's easier to get
That part's kind of strange.
unless you're a main, obviously.
Yeah. Well, it
And
also depends on your RNG, I guess.
yeah, well, no, either way. I mean, unless you get
Okay,
like
yeah.
crazy lucky, you're not going to get a full blessed d'hide set.
Mhm.
Um, Especially matching. I mean, whatever fashion scape, but yeah. So I mean, if you just got like a helmet that was obviously better than a blessed d'hide helmet, then it's like, oh, obviously I'm going to go for this because I can. Instead of like now, it's like, oh, I'm going to get the full set
True.
and make it so all of this gear that's been in the game forever is just entirely obsolete.
Okay. I don't know if I agree with you, but I do. That is a very fair point, I will say.
Because I mean, if we look back, just a couple patches ago, the Colosseum set, brand new proselyte, completely replaces the old proselyte, which replaced the proselyte before that, which was the initiate set. So
I forgot that existed.
you just maybe had the goofy sun hat that you liked, and
I
now
do love
that
it.
gives you like maybe not a ton of prayer bonus, but more prayer bonus than the current one and the last one.
Mhm.
So it's clearly an upgrade if you're just using proselyte for Slayer.
I think also whenever they do the full sets, though, it's kind of an opportunity to do like full on designs because if you did just release the sun one, I mean, it probably would actually look good at proselyte. But like in general, a lot of sets, they're very specific color themes and stuff,
Yeah,
and it could like people will be upset because like the fashion scape's ugly
I could
if you're
see that.
mixing and matching.
Yeah, I could see that. That being said,
Just make it cute.
my only real counter argument to that is one, it's Fashionscape, who cares? But two,
Me.
like who cares as in I'm not going to base a game's rewards around that.
Mm-hmm.
And two being it's funny because some of the most prestigious Fashionscape transmog things in World of Warcraft, for example, is like people have like transmog competitions, who looks better or whatever.
Okay, cute.
One of the most prestigious parts of those competitions is that you have a outfit that looks good, looks like it goes together, but isn't a set.
Ah, getting more
If you
creative
have
with it.
like oh, you have cool purple bottoms and a purple top and that weapon's purple, did it all come from the same place? No.
Ooh, yeah.
That's way extra points
Yeah.
because you thought about it. There's a lot of items in the game, so it's like
Hmm.
if you're able to do that successfully, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
So I think it could be cooler to not have sets. I'm not a fan of sets in games in general,
I like
but
them.
yeah, definitely could open it up.
I like them for fashion escape. So, but anyway, let us know what you guys think on that, though. I am curious.
Yeah,
Next is prayer regeneration potion. We've saved one of our biggest changes for last. A lot of you found it strange that the prayer regeneration potion wasn't coming from the herblore activity, which I agreed with last week.
yeah.
We did want to give players a reason to come back to the boss after they've scooped their uniques, so we've decided the boss is going to drop seeds for a new herb, which will serve as the primary ingredient for the prayer regeneration potion, and you'll get the secondary from the new herblore activity, and Bob's your uncle. I don't really understand that, and I wanted to Google it, because
You
I've
don't.
heard people say it, but like, I don't know what that means.
Oh, it's
Is it just being like, and that's that?
yeah, it's a really weird thing. I don't know the like origin of it, but yeah, it's kind of like, and then all of a sudden, Bob's your uncle. Like it's,
Okay.
and then that happened, I guess, or it's like that's how it is.
Yeah, I wanted to say that out loud because I read it and I was like, ugh, English people.
I think it's
This is
kind of
mean.
like a saying like that's how I met your mother type of stuff. Like
And Bob's your uncle.
it's like, oh, I'm like this is, and then just from then on, Bob was your uncle.
Yeah, English people
That's
tell us
just,
if we're just making up lore for you.
I don't even.
Let's just make up
I
lore.
wonder if that's even like an English saying.
Sounds
I've
weird.
known that saying for a long
And
time.
Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying it now.
Oh,
And Bob's your uncle. Anyway, so you of course may still be able to obtain the seed or the herb itself from other sources in the future, but for now, the Huikodal will be the only place it's available. We haven't decided whether this herb should also be used as the primary for the recently passed potion of goading, but we'll be sure to let you know when development has progressed further. And as a small clarification, the prayer regeneration potion will have 4 doses, allowing players to restore up to 66 prayer points per dose. We'll be looking into how this effects interact with those of the Blessed Wrench or other such items, so stay tuned.
cool.
I like this. I wanted something so herblore based to at least be like semi involved with the herbal activity. So actually, this is a really good idea.
Yep.
And you still have to go back to this place. I'm assuming that the seeds will be tradable. They don't say, but I mean, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I think this is a W.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
Good.
this makes sense.
Yeah, I'm glad.
And I like that it makes it so it makes both of the content have to stay relevant to an extent.
Yeah, you have to like go back and forth, which I mean sounds nice now. Will might actually be annoying if you're grinding it,
I
but
guess so.
they'll always keep each other relevant,
Yeah. But I
which is
mean,
cool.
they're adding a lot more things to help this content stay relevant and not feel bad while you're grinding it.
Yeah.
So some of the smaller things that they're introducing are the boss will now also drop Sunfire Splinters and Blessed Bones, so that, I mean, those are a lot of really big benefits, especially for
Yeah.
irons and
This
stuff.
bones is something that you wanted to go to Perilous Moons for too, right? So
Yeah,
you can work on your
yeah,
feet.
it's really big prayer XP.
Yeah.
They're also going to be renaming Muddy Pages. People didn't like it because it sounded like poop pages.
Page is actually fine.
Dueling Wand never made sense, so they're changing the name of that, and the new range set is yet to be named.
Okay.
The instance system will work similarly to that of Nex,
Hmm.
and of course, there will be a pet.
It's gonna look cool. I hope that his body wiggles like.
Yeah, hopefully.
But yeah, there is now a poll open, asking all the questions about this. It doesn't say when the poll's gonna close. Of
Yeah.
course, it doesn't. But yeah, they're just going through like each item, asking if you guys want to add this in the game, per usual.
Yep.
Yeah, I like in general. I think that this is pretty chill, and I'm
Yeah.
excited for it. And I'm excited people walking around with this little worm guy.
I'm interested to see if it all passes.
I think it will. Maybe
Probably.
not the range, but I think it all will.
Yeah, probably. All right, so we are back. It is another day. I'm wearing the same shirt,
I
and
noticed that. I wasn't gonna say anything.
obviously, as you can tell, there's been an update on the docket,
Yes.
as you can tell.
I don't know how they would be able to tell, but
Me
yes.
neither, but you can probably tell because there's a new blog, a very long, an arduous blog to read through, so we'll try to make it brief, but it is about the new upcoming skill of sailing.
Yeah, just a development update.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a progression, like roadmap update. They've essentially finished the first step, but we'll go over it after the current update for the game, which we'll be going over now.
Yeah. So that is more project rebalance, skilling, and Varlamore changes.
Yep, so we are going to start off by talking about Slayer.
Yeah. And I will be killing Scurrius this entire time, so if you're watching on YouTube, that's why I keep reaching across, is to sit more prayer pots.
Yes. I'll try to do it as much as possible. So we're going to be starting off with Slayer. Players no longer need to cancel their current Slayer task in order to take on a new one, or one that they have stored previously, which I always thought was kind of dumb.
So yeah, now you could just swap them with the existing task.
Yeah, so
Cool.
it's pretty cool. They added a little swap button in the interface, so it's really easy. Let's say you have like an Aviances task and you like to save it for Kriara, and you've gotten done with 40. It's taking you all day, and you don't want to do 40 more tomorrow or something like that. Then you can just swap tasks and go do, I don't know, whatever else.
Yeah, it's actually pretty handy.
Yeah, it's really, really nice.
I haven't tried it out yet.
They do say that for anyone that isn't familiar with how like storing a task works, you still need to unlock the 1000 Slayer point unlock for being even able to store
Yeah.
your task at all.
The storage itself is 1,000 points.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind.
Next up is thieving. We've improved the drop rates of medium, hard, and elite clue scrolls from gnomes, paladins, and heroes. We've also reduced the pickpocketing fail rate for these NPCs, so you have an easier time stealing from them overall. The rates are now as followed, with each number corresponding to... Okay, I'm just going to say the rates are as followed. So gnomes have gone from 200 to 1 out of 150, paladin from 1,500 to 1 out of 1,000, and heroes from 2,000 to 1 out of 1,400.
Yeah.
Pretty significant, actually.
Yeah,
I thought.
I am kind of I mean, not even really kind of. I am not really happy with this.
Why?
It seems like a weird thing to not be happy about.
It really does. I'm not gonna lie.
That being said, from what I've seen, the XP rates are not good.
So is that unrelated to the clue drop rates though,
Um,
or to the failed pickpocketing they said too? Huh?
well, okay, so I have it pulled up.
Okay.
I screenshotted this just so I could reference it. Whenever this was pulled,
Was this the poll or the original post on it?
no, this is
We have to specify now.
this is with the what the changes were supposed to be.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, we take gnomes. They were at 110,000 XP or per hour at the level that you unlock them. And then the original proposal increased that to 145,000, so a 30k increase, pretty good. And then they were saying that with the new proposed changes at 99, you're supposed to get 225,000 XP an hour, which is pretty good. It's still slightly lower than RD Knights at 99 with diaries, but you have the chance of getting medium clues, right? And this whole thing is it's supposed to be interesting in that you're getting clues, which is okay, but it was also supposed to still be competitive XP rates. It seems to kind of not be either in real life.
Aren't gnomes lower level than RD Knights?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they're a later unlock.
Really? That seems weird.
Yeah, because they increased the rates from paladins, gnomes, and heroes,
Yeah.
which are, I'm pretty sure all, I know paladins and heroes are, so I don't know why gnomes wouldn't be, but I'm pretty sure gnomes are as well.
Okay. While you go through it, I'm gonna look something up about it.
Yeah, so I guess, for instance, someone was saying, like, for in their experience, this is all other people's experience. I only have like 70 on my GIM, so I'm not gonna go and get on my main to do this.
Long time, so that's why I'm kind of unbothered with everything. I
Yeah.
haven't been training it.
Yeah. So a lot of, and this isn't a solo experience. This is by far the most thing that I've seen talked about in this patch
Okay.
is the fact that the thieving is not okay.
It wasn't supposed to be comparable. It was still supposed to be less.
It was still supposed to be less, but it was still supposed to be better than what people are experiencing currently.
What are people experiencing?
Less. But we're just talking about clues. Let's just talk about clues.
Sure.
So, for instance, if you're going to go to heroes, right, for a rare chance at an elite clue, it's a 1 out of 1,400, right? Which, for instance, the enhanced teleport seed from an elf, which is worth, several millions of GP, and you get 2 of them with the outfit,
Mhm.
is 1 of 1,000.
Yeah.
So that immediately is already off for me. For anyone that doesn't know, heroes, you do have a chance to fail. It's actually a really high chance to fail. It's like 50%, even
Then,
at 99.
to be fair, they do even say that it's going to be a rare chance of getting elite clues.
Okay.
Because otherwise, everyone would do this instead of going to like Vorkath or Sarachnis.
Yeah. So to put this into a little bit better perspective,
Mhm.
this person says, for instance, you can pickpocket heroes around 200 times an hour, and elves around 450 for a 2 million profit per hour. By the time you go on drop rate for a clue from a hero, you could have made 14 million GP from elves and 3 times the amount of XP.
I don't know.
I,
I
I
mean,
guess my point is that not how bad this is. It's compared to other things. It is no one will do this. No one.
well, the way I was thinking of it was just it's an alternative that has a very rare chance of getting it. Like you probably aren't going for there for the clue scrolls, but if you want to go there, there's a chance you'd get it. I think it was an extra little bonus that they even said would be rare.
But my whole thing that I don't like about it is that it was supposed to be something that people are like, oh, maybe I'll go do this because I don't want to stay at Artie Nights forever. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's kind of how it was introduced as like an alternative thing to like if you don't want to blackjack forever or if you don't want to do nights forever, you can. I thought it was supposed to be more like agility, how it's like, all right, you've unlocked paladins, now you can move up to paladins.
No, they do even say that they're supposed to have an added incentive of extra clue scrolls. Not really the XP, but the added incentive is extremely rare, so it's kind of silly.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm reading back at the original news
No, yeah.
post.
So the original news post says the XP rates are about on par with Artie Knights at the same thieving level, with the added incentive of extra clue scrolls that might make players think twice about which NPC they plan to rob. Incidentally, the XP here is derived entirely from reduced failure rates. And also, speaking of these failure rates, I don't see them personally. Multiple people I've seen examples of this as well are still failing a lot of the time, like 60, 70 success rate. So it's like
Yeah.
you're failing 20 to 50% of the time, which is it's the XP rates end up being a lot lower until you're like 99 is what it seems like it
Okay.
doesn't feel good even with the lower fail
So it
rate.
feels like next week they might adjust it potentially.
I don't really know.
I
I'm
mean,
mostly confused because originally I guess I thought they were trying to do what they did to agility, but for thieving. I guess I was just not understanding it correctly because,
they still have Artie Nights is the best, but yeah, they
yeah,
do.
that's kind of why I was all like, oh, maybe I'm like misunderstanding it
No,
because that would make more sense to eventually move to heroes, but that's not the
it's just
case.
to have a mega rare chance of getting a clue is the only reason.
Yeah, and like I had it here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Someone had a. They were saying like how much XP like gnomes went down, and like all while they made it so it's a lot lower chance to fail than original, they made it. They like counteracted it by making it so you get much less XP per thief as well.
They were saying it like in the blog post, in the original blog post, they were saying it like these new XP rates are going to be counting failures. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Obviously, it's per hour.
Yeah, so it should be better. So that just means that they straight up were wrong and that's going to be adjusted.
I don't know, but so for instance, because the thing is, I guess a lot of people, myself included, I guess kind of just expected lower fail rates with the clues.
Mhm.
But they did the lower fail rates with lower XP. So it overall is just like not, it doesn't feel good. So for instance, um, for instance, this person would say that heroes used to give 273 XP per thief, per pickpocket. And now it's 163.
Yeah.
So 110 XP
Um,
less
okay, I know what
per
you
thief.
mean. You
But
thought,
obviously you're failing less.
yeah, you're feeling less, so it ends up equaling more, but people thought it was going to be like a lot more.
Yeah.
They thought the XP rate would stay the same and you'd fail less.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think it's a crazy thing to assume either, but
Yeah, and also I don't know what it is. Like I said, I haven't personally tested this. Maybe someone will, and the chart, the XP rates will turn out correct. But a lot of people are reporting that they're getting a lot less XP than it seems like they should be.
yeah, I don't
So
know.
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
But
I
either way,
haven't tried it and I didn't see anyone's takes on it, so I have no thoughts on that.
yeah, it was definitely I had to bring it up because it was just by far the thing that I saw the most.
Is anyone else having weird XP rates that don't quite seem right?
Yeah, let us know, I
Let
guess.
us know.
Moving on to XP rates that are totally fine is agility.
Oh, I don't think that this is about XP at all, really.
No, yeah,
But there's actually a good thing in here that I'm excited about. Do you want to read
yeah,
this or me?
sure. I'll start off. So now you can convert agility tickets, agility arena tickets rather, into newer, shinier Brimhaven vouchers, which you can exchange at Pirate Jackie the Fruit's new shop. To do so, use the old tickets on Jackie, and they'll give you the option to convert them. And this doesn't remove the ability to use Brimhaven Graceful on her to revert them back to regular Graceful. I don't know why you would think that, but that doesn't happen. Such a weird thing to include.
The agility arena, I just cut you off, also now has a world hop check in place. If you tag a pillar, then hop to a different world and try to tag a pillar again too quickly, you'll be locked out of interacting with the pillars for about a minute.
That's to combat the original exploit, which was just
Hopping world to world.
yeah, tagging a pillar and then hopping worlds over and over again. Also, the ticket dispensers now yield the correct amount of XP based on your agility level. This was something that was hotfixed, but they wanted to mention it.
This is the big one that I'm
Yeah.
excited about.
This is the most important thing by far. We even mentioned it whenever this originally came out.
Last week. We've also removed fail points from the falling agility courses, Ape Atoll Stepping Stone and Climbing Down Tropical Tree, and the Canifis Rooftop Course Last Gap Jump.
Yeah, that's I kind of think what literally everyone was anticipating, and then it wasn't.
One.
It wasn't there yesterday or last week.
Last week, yeah, that was really weird. We're like, why? What?
Yeah.
So I'm happy about that.
And lastly, they've altered the fence next to Taverley tree patches to allow easier access to the shortcut.
Yes, that was something I noticed because you can hop over the wall now, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna use that for my tree runs.
Yeah.
You hop over a wall, but then you still have to run all the way around this fence, and I'm like, wait, this is like basically the same speed. So
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
On top of that, apparently, I saw someone post about this. You could get into Shiloh Village via the shortcut without having ever done the Shiloh Village quest. So that has been fixed. Now you still need to do the quest.
Super funny. Moving on to mining. Since last week's update, we've noticed that players are achieving excessively large amounts of XP when mining sandstone and granite with the mining gloves. For now, we've simply prevented the gloves from working in this circumstance, but we're actively discussing how best to balance this interaction in the future. We'll let you know if we decide to make any further changes, but in the meanwhile, we'll be glad to hear feedback on this point. In other mining news, a sound now plays when amethyst crystals fully deplete, and we've added a warning when trying to mine or in Motherlode Mine when your sack is full.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff.
Have
you ever done that before?
Yeah, I have.
Done a full inventory and they have to go and drop them all?
I don't drop them. Are you crazy?
If you
I put
drop
them in
them,
my
you can-
bank.
No, you could pick them back up.
I just put them in my bank.
I didn't know you could bank them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're crazy. Anyway,
But
I'm not crazy, you're crazy.
yeah, it's funny because I mean, I guess this makes sense, the whole mining glove thing, because people, I guess, were getting pretty high XP, but they found in the most rude awakening type of way when while two tick or one tick mining granite or whatever, it just stopped working because they hot fixed it and didn't tell anyone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so people were just standing there, and then all of a sudden, mining, and then all of a sudden, all of their rocks went gray
What?
because it
Because they were wearing the gloves still and
yeah,
shit?
because it depleted, unlike how it should work.
That's actually very funny.
Yeah, so unfortunate for the way those people found out, but yeah, I don't know.
I think they're all good.
I guess so. I'm
I
not
mean, I
sure.
don't know what they're going to do with that in the future. Mostly, I'm just excited about the agility. The Canifis and the Taverley one are pretty good
Yeah.
for me.
Well, we can look at another change that I'm not sure if people really liked. I think
I like some of these.
people are kind of on the fence.
Moving on to Varlamore changes now, by the way. I just freaking died.
Dang, that's really embarrassing. You didn't even run out of agility or prayer potion because I actually clicked the prayer
No,
potion.
I believe you. All right, you read Varlamore. I have to go resupply. Screw. The way I reacted was very angrily.
Kind of weird. Anyways, Varlamore this week brings us one last round of improvements to Hunter Rumors. I don't know why we're still on Hunter Rumors.
I like some of these, so go on.
Okay. You might be the only one.
Okay.
We've looked to address the main feedback regarding the creatures on the task list, removing the most blocked rumors from adept and expert tiers. This will cut down on the amount of slower tracking and deadfall rumors and make blocking rumors more personalized rather than simply clearing them out of the pool. We've added some higher level tasks to the adept and expert list, meaning that as a player progresses, they'll unlock additional preferable tasks. Notable additions are red chins to both adept lists and herbivore to Tico's list.
I feel like that's the big one. Is I was doing expert because experts is the way to go if you want to get the pet, and if you do experts, you can't do herbivore. You never get assigned it.
Yeah, but I guess that's the only thing. A lot of people are more concerned with the things that they removed.
Okay.
Mainly, people were saying that they didn't really like that they removed orange salamanders, especially, is what
Yeah.
I saw a lot of.
All right. Well, let's go. We'll go person by person, just so it's clear.
Yeah, obviously. So we're starting off with Ornis. They removed the barbed tail and prickly kebits and added red salamanders and red chins.
For service, they removed the barbed tail and prickly kevits and added sunlight moths and red chins.
For Echo, they removed the razorback kebits and pyrofoxes and added teku sals and moonlight moths.
And for Techo, they removed razorback kevits and orange salamanders and added herbivore and sunlight moths. Sunlight moths is also a really easy one, so I'm glad they added that. I've been using Techo lately.
And for Wolf, they removed sunlight moths.
Sunlight moths are easy. They should have kept it for Wolf.
Yeah, and so also they said that these changes will not affect active tasks. And
Yeah.
they have some smaller fixes as well that we'll
Did
go
we-
over after this.
Yeah, Orange salamander was a really easy one, so that's kind of annoying they got rid of it.
Yeah, that's mainly the main critique I saw. Someone was saying removing orange salamanders from expert rumors is a huge L. They're really good at the new location near TOA.
I mean, yeah, I think it's really good, but maybe the levels don't make sense. I don't know what the levels are.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I saw some people upset about this change. That being said, if you are still into rumors or are just getting into rumors, the day that this came out, someone already had posted a fairly lengthy post. Shout out to CVZ200 on Reddit. They had a long post on what to block and like what is optimal if you still are doing the most meta option.
I am not.
Yeah. And also, before I forget,
They might mention this later.
I don't think they do, is you can now pet Renu.
You're a little Quetzal pretzel.
Not little by any means, but yes,
The
you
big one
can.
that you travel on, you could.
Yeah, you can pet him.
Thank God.
Thank
We've been waiting.
God,
He's
dude.
so cute. He just sits there with his little bird face.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, I like that change. I honestly
You haven't done 100 rumors, so.
never done the Hunter Rumor stuff. I don't ever plan on doing it. I was just telling Michelle the other day that that's like not interesting to me. It's kind of like,
I like him.
yeah, I don't really like things in games when they're all, you have to like go to a place and they're like, oh, go do this thing for me.
That's Slayer, too.
Yeah,
Which I also like.
I don't really like.
You used
Slayer
to once
either.
upon a time.
I
I
don't,
used to hate it and you used to like it because you would tell me I'd like it. And then I tried it and I was like, this sucks. And then I ended up liking it eventually.
yeah, I don't know. I don't really like that. Like in it's funny because that's like one of the most hated things in like Diablo games
Mm-hmm.
is they had like these like I don't remember what they're called, but you had to like go to a zone and like do these specific missions in order to get like zone specific items, and they were actually some of them were really good items, and it's just annoying having to like play the game like a way that you don't want to play.
Mini quest all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Or like daily quests. I don't like daily quests either.
Okay. There are some smaller Hunter Guild changes as well. So the bonus effect descriptions of the Kayat and Guild Hunter outfits are now listed in the set bonus tab while wearing at least one piece of either outfit.
You said it wrong.
Cat.
Yeah.
Cat. I know, because I tweeted and said saber tooth cat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny.
Also,
It's pretty funny.
they are preventing certain tiles in the Fortis Coliseum from blocking players who try to walk on them.
Oh,
A lot of people are saying that they still really need to fix, and I've seen examples of these, it can be pretty bad. They need to fix the click boxes in Coliseum,
the click boxes, I mean, everywhere could probably be fixed.
but especially at the Coliseum because it's so small, is why a
Hmm.
lot of people have problems there.
They also updated the easy Hunter Guild clue to direct players to the food barrel on top of the guild, as has no level requirement to access.
And just quick before, in case I said it incorrectly, I meant the area is small.
Yeah, it's the
Not
bosses.
not the
The
clicking.
tiny
Yeah, if
manicore.
anything, the clicking, the boxes are too big. They fixed various graphical and sound related bugs.
Fixed a bug where the nothing interesting happens text pops up when trying to fill fur and meat pouches manually.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it for the main update. They have some smaller other changes, though.
Yeah.
Players who have completed the hard ability diary can now select or sell unwanted ecumenical keys to the Lesser Fanatic in Edgeville for 61,500 GP.
World 508 has been giving the activity Brimhaven agility.
References to padded spoons have been removed from the Crafting Guild's level up message.
When Ayatladdle's voice speaks to you after leaving the moon fight, it now does so without creating disruptive chat boxes.
I think it's Ayat Ladalees.
Oh, there's an I at the end. There's a lot of lines going on.
Yeah, it looks like whenever people have those barcode names where it's just a bunch of L's and
Yes.
I's mixed
That's
together.
kind of, yeah, I mean, it's kind of my name too.
Yeah, me too. The
Robert.
the fancy dress shop in Varric now prioritizes tatty furs. Oh, I actually ran into this issue. Oh, that was so annoying whenever I ran into it.
What's the issue?
Because dude, this is such a weirdly obscure issue. I forgot
Okay.
exactly what it is, so I'll just try to go off memory.
Sure.
But essentially, whenever you go to the fancy dress shop, one of the ways, and the reason I ran into this is one of the ways early on as an Iron Man, or in my account at least, I don't know if I'm weird for this, is this is one of the easier ways to get warm
Money?
clothes for winter top
Oh.
is to get the Kiat outfit or whatever. I think that's why I ran into this issue, or
I think I
maybe
did that too. I didn't like have an issue, but you have to make like the hunter's outfit.
yeah, or yeah, maybe it was for like a
It's a winter shot thing.
it was a winter
I'm
top thing.
pretty
Okay.
sure.
Anyways, so I went and got the fur, and then I went over to the the person, the fancy dress person, to make the clothes, and they used my non-tatty ones, the nice ones, because usually you'll get tatty furs, and then occasionally you'll get a non-tatty one, which is like not all beat up, and you have to have a non-tatty one to do like the helmet.
Oh, so you couldn't
So I
do the full
couldn't I
outfit.
couldn't do the full outfit, and I had to
That's
go
funny.
back and do more hunting stuff in order to get the
What a niche issue that they're only just now fixing, though.
yeah. Yeah, really weird. I don't know why this is on here. Maybe someone particularly put in a ticket, but I ran into this
Yeah.
issue.
Whenever I read issues that I ran into, I'm like, oh, I probably should have put in a ticket.
Yeah. And I ran into this issue like months and months and months ago. So,
Yeah. Whoops.
yeah, kind
Thanks
of
who
weird.
actually said something.
Next up, we have Revenant Imps, Goblins, and Hobgoblins can now drop their respective champion scrolls. Funny enough, my only update is that I killed 200 more
Zombies.
armored zombies. I'm at 1,700, which is over double the drop rate for the axe. And I didn't get the axe, but I got the zombie champion scroll.
Yeah. I looked it up. You have an 11% chance of going as dry as you are right now.
Yeah, there you
You're in the
go.
top 11%.
The Revenant Demon is greater rather than lesser due to having wings, so it should not drop the Lesser Demon Challenge scroll.
Yeah. The brightness layers in the settings menu and side settings menu are now in sync.
They adjusted the drag handles of the Activity Advisor and New Style Guide so they don't overlap with the close button.
Fixed a bug where the giant sea snakes model was not displayed during Royal Trouble.
Yep, that's about it.
Everyone's like freaking out looking at it and you're like, there's nothing there.
Yeah. One defense peers are going to be the PvP arena, and they have some new merch stuff if you're so inclined.
Yeah, they're spirit shields that have glow in the dark stamps on them. And are like kind of like stained glass, pretty colors on them. And we have a new RuneScape book out. I think Fem's actually going to read this. It's called The Gift of Gothics by Aaron M. Evans and tells an epic tale of the origin of magic, the plight of civil war, and the crushing defeat of the Fremennik Great Invasion. And this book is out now wherever you buy your books.
Yep.
Go check it out.
Yeah, that's it. Besides that, if you are still interested in books but don't really like reading a lot, you can try out their cookbook, which is still on sale, and they showcase some people making some of the stuff from it.
Food actually is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean it's food, so generally
Good.
pretty easy to make and hard to mess up. So
I mean, I've messed up food a lot, so speak for yourself.
yeah, it's kind of a weird, embarrassing thing to throw out there.
Anyway, speaking of weird and embarrassing.
Yeah, speaking of weird and embarrassing,
Really.
you all voted for this.
Sailing Development Progress Update. Milestone 1 Navigation. They're like, what's the longest title we could make for this blog post right now?
Yeah, strap in because this is...
It's not as long as the other one, really.
No, I was just going to... This is a blog I have opinions of.
Oh, God. Okay.
But
And get ready for me to defend it because...
I don't think they're that crazy,
okay.
to be fair.
So you're not going to go too hard.
No, I don't... And
sometimes you go hard, you're like, they should be fired. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
No. I don't think anyone's, messing up that bad. I only say that when it's something that you just you can't mess up.
Sometimes
and
you
then
say
they mess
people
up.
should go to jail for the updates.
Yeah, I mean, and those people probably should have.
You're like, and I stand by that.
Yeah, I'll double down. I don't know who that was, but maybe.
You started out.
So we have sailing, everyone's new favorite thing.
No. Let's not start off lies.
Yeah, definitely not. So anyways, this is the new skill that everyone is kind of hyped up about as far as if there's ever any new stuff about it, because obviously it's a new skill, so a lot of people like to be interested in it. So this is really just them...
They're just updating us on the progress.
Giving an update because they've... They're done with the initial phase 1. So for anyone that isn't familiar, there are 4 phases in the sailing entire thing.
They've actually changed the phases.
They moved them around a little bit and they let us know in this post, but for the most part, phase 1, 2, 3, and 4 have all been the same thing, where phase 1 was pretty much creating the structure and the bones of what the skill will be. 2 is going to be them adding all of the nice, spices on it.
Yeah, some gameplay, navigation blogs, closed alpha, things like that.
Yeah, that's when you'll actually start testing it. And then phase 3 is whenever they're going to add, extra star on top of the tree style stuff.
Secondary activities and things like that.
Yeah, and this is this is what Michelle's referencing, where they have moved the original plan for the player designed island, skill cape, and icon competition from phase 2 to phase 3 now. It's later because it's just taking a long time for them to do stuff. They even start out this entire blog saying, admittedly, this part of the project's taken longer than we initially expected.
I'd rather it take 2 years and be good, though, and have it be quick and not be good.
It's funny you say that because some people literally said the same exact thing. They're like, if this takes you until 2026, that's fine.
Yeah. Please don't rush it.
But it is kind of worrying. Multiple people said that, which makes me think I'm not alone in thinking that they may have gotten themselves... They may have bit off a little much with this entire thing.
Yeah.
So, that's what I'm getting from the sentiment of multiple people saying that maybe you should take longer doing this, but we'll see as we get into it.
Also, phase 4 is the regular open beta.
Yeah, it's just pretty much the wrap up at the end.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll finish off the
Intro.
the synopsis of this by saying that sailing is a very ambitious project, perhaps our most ambitious project to date.
I would go
It's
so far to
not
say
even-
it is.
It's not even close.
Perhaps it's by and far the most ambitious.
This is obviously way more than I think you originally bargained for.
Yeah. Even any criticisms, I will say, you guys are doing a lot. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is a big project.
Yeah, sure. But we're confident that we can handle challenges as they come. We know you'd all prefer if it took our time with the skill instead of rushing it out, obviously. That's why we're so excited to show you what we've been working on. Remember, what you'll see here today is still far from the finished project. So we need your feedback, and be sure to tell us what you think.
Cool. Starting out with navigation. This is milestone 1. So milestone 1 is the biggest in the whole roadmap, as it includes the technical foundation that the rest of the skill will rest on. While I spent a lot of time getting it right, we do expect the other milestones to fall in place much faster. Navigating your way around the sea is shaping up to be very similar to how we described during refinement, it's like several months ago now, where you use the classic click to move controls to move your boat across the sea while also moving your character on the boat. This is consistent for any type of boat, whether they're small, large, or colossal, although their movement speed is subject to change. They also have like a little video that I think you watched on it.
Yeah, it's an 8 minute long video. It is extensive.
He said it was
And
mostly talking.
this is going to be possibly some people would consider it a nitpick, but
Okay.
I was hoping an 8 minute long video would have substantial gameplay in it so I can, get a real idea of what the base of this skill will look like. And as you can see, we're skimming through the video and there is not a ton of gameplay here. And by that, I mean, it would be less than 2 minutes
To be
probably.
fair, they never say, they even say like this is the development phase. Like they're laying the foundation, doing all the technical stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, if
But I
they've
understand your
spent
disappointment.
if they spent 4 months working on, a train, I want to see the tracks. I want to make sure that this thing is going to go straight or where it's going.
What happened to not wanting to rush them?
I don't want to rush them. They were just saying they spent all this time, too much time even, more than they thought, on the bones of the skill. I want to see the bones of the skill. I don't want
I,
to see, even though, I'm sure Madalena, lovely person, don't mind seeing her on the screen. I just would want to see the gameplay instead.
they do have a lot of mods in this video.
They do. It's several.
A lot of people.
It's at least a handful of them.
I want to ask, did you read this full blog?
I did.
Okay, cool. Just checking. Because they do say, like, later on some stuff about how they haven't made the gameplay look good yet. They said that they're still figuring that out, kind of.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's totally fine. I would be okay if it was literally just like a character T posed, like not able to move, on hovering on a soccer ball going across the water, just so I could see what the movement of the boat looked like, which they don't really show pretty much at all.
The video they put out is not what you were expecting.
The longest, for anyone that is still listening and wondering and goes to the video, the longest section where they actually show gameplay so you can like kind of inspect what it would look like starts at 7 minutes into the 8 minute video.
They show stuff before, but not.
This is by far the most extensive part, I promise
Yeah.
you. And it goes for about 10 seconds. I'm not even kidding.
It does look cool, though. I didn't watch it. It even says pre-alpha work in progress footage, too.
Yeah, but
I think that they shouldn't have maybe made this blog yet.
maybe not.
If I don't know. I mean, I get what they're going for. I think what you wish that they were showcasing in this blog is not what they even intended to showcase.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess, like I said, this might be a nitpick for some people,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're going to come over to me 4 months into a project and you're like, all right, cool, we're at a big, stopgap in this project before we move on to the next section, and then you spend 8 minutes telling me about this and not showing me what you've been working on, I would rather have just, I even told Michelle this, I would have rather it been a 3 minute video of them just walking, or sailing in a triangle or something, or in a square on repeat with them talking in the background, just so I can see what it looked like.
It reminds me whenever there was a GIF playing the other week and I started to feel so overstimulated I had to like pause it.
Yeah. Because, like, unironically, the longest part with gameplay in this video is at 7 minutes, and it is 9 seconds long.
Mm-hmm.
I am not even being facetious in any way, which is just not long enough for me personally.
I can't argue I didn't watch the video, I'm not gonna lie. I love RuneScape. I love having a RuneScape podcast streaming it. I don't like watching RuneScape stuff
Yeah,
sometimes. I think it's just
sure.
in general, like whenever I do watch it, I enjoy it. But I think a lot of it is RuneScape is already so much of my life. Whenever I'm doing other stuff, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Anyways, that was the video. Just to sum it up real quick. So, in case you didn't watch it, like Michelle, maybe that'll make you more enticed to watch it.
I feel like you didn't even say what the video was. You just said what it wasn't. What
Well,
do they actually talk about? Like the foundation of it?
Yeah, they're really just talking. It's kind of like a lot of fluff. So
Oh, okay,
there's really
gotcha.
not a ton of actual, meaningful content in this video.
Okay.
It's a good video, just not what I was looking for.
So, since our initial prototype, we've been busy laying the technical foundations for everything in the video above. This includes improvements to stability and performance of the Java and C++ clients and the engine work required to make boats turn, control their speed, add collision, implement boarding and multiplayer options, increase draw distance, block out scenery, and more. You'll notice that we haven't yet implemented weather mechanics. We're still experimenting with this feature and we want to ensure it feels right before we show it off.
Yeah. So
No
pretty.
weather.
Yeah, no weather. That's fine. We realized early on that although both boats and player characters can use click to move mechanics, we want navigation to feel distinct from player movement. When turning your boat, it'll move in an arc rather than instantly facing the direction you want to move in.
Yeah, more thematic.
Yeah.
Thematic? Thematical.
Thematic. This is something we're really keen on feedback, and I would, if you are keen on giving them feedback, I would highly recommend checking out the video I just mentioned, because although it doesn't show a lot, it does show you the scale of the boats, which was the number one, not even close in my findings, concern by players that saw the video.
Okay.
Is that the small boats kind of look fine. The big boats look fairly unwieldy, is what I would say. Some people would said that it looked clunky, or just like the proportions were off or something like that. So you know, give your own opinion. I don't really care to skew you one way or the other. I thought it looked okay at best. That being said, our next technical innovation requires a bit of explaining. Behind the scenes, we have player entities and NPC entities that work very differently within the same code. Sailing utilizes a new world entity which allows us to render players inside the boat and interact with them while they move independently. We've already thought of a few more things we could use this technology for, such as large bosses and raids and encounters that take place on moving objects.
Kind of cool to imagine, actually.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. And this is kind of exactly how I thought it would work. Originally, I was thinking that they should have just kept boats, and you know, part of me still thinks this too, that they should have just kept boats the same exact way you walk. But
I mean, they said that they are, right? It's just, oh, you meant like the turning angular.
yeah,
Okay,
like
gotcha.
everything about it.
Hmm.
But that being said, I knew that they weren't going to go that way when they said that just sailing in and of itself was going to be the main way you level the skill passively. And so I guess this would be the next best thing. So for anyone that isn't sure or understanding how it works, they do go into it later. Essentially, you go and click on the, you know, rudder of the ship that you steer the ship with, and then you click that you want to go somewhere, kind of like how you regularly walk. And then while that happens, you can leave the rudder of the ship while it's still going
Oh,
to where the destination is, and then you can walk around your ship and do stuff
cool.
while it's going.
Yeah. But you can't be walking on the ship clicking on the ocean. That's just not going to do anything.
No, exactly. You have to be at the helm of the ship in order to steer it, but once it's going, it'll continue to go, is my understanding.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. And speaking of continuing to go, this has helped.
He just ad-libbed that part.
Yeah. They do speak a little bit about objects. They've improved how the game renders them at sea, and while adding a Z buffer, for anyone that doesn't know, X axis, Y axis, and Z is your 3D axis.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, this is to manage the depth of objects in the game world. This effectively adds a new dimension, improving how the camera works within the game world itself. And this has also helped us implement proper boat collision, which is a feature we're still working on behind the scenes, and you can expect collision to improve continuously as we continue through development.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I was telling Michelle this. I hope this doesn't mean that you will not be able to be on top of another player, as that would be really annoying.
Well, I don't know if it was here or a different thing, but they were talking about potentially, we'll get to this again, but how you won't be able to basically see everyone. Like everyone won't load almost. And the way I was talking to Rob is, I imagine it's kind of how it was at Shooting Stars whenever it first became popular. Like there's so much people there that they're not rendering, but
Yeah.
you're not interacting with them, you know? Like
Yeah.
they're just like, they're like little ghosties almost.
Yeah, for sure.
I need to eat. You read the next paragraph.
I need to eat,
No, in
she
game.
says.
Sorry, I was at like 20 health.
You have an anglerfish in your inventory.
No, but look, I'm a full heal. Just read. Just
Why
read
do
the
you
next.
need a full hill? You don't even take stuff from this boss.
You wouldn't get it. He
She's
hasn't been to
she's
Scarius.
eating cheese so she can save the anglerfish in her inventory.
In case there's another emergency.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't even know where we were though.
we're,
Okay,
we're
oh, lastly but not least, we've increased the draw distance on the legacy Java client to make sailing more viable for the players who still use Java.
kind of don't know why we still support Java.
So why is this all taking so long? Frankly, we had to bash out a lot of bugs to reach the stage we're at now. Engine updates are much less frequent than game updates, so when we look to set up a beta world, we have to ensure the engine version matches what we had in the live game. If not, players would experience compatibility issues when trying to log into them. This effectively means that we had to wait until all the tech for sailing was stable and ready to put into live game before we could test it all out. We're very proud of the progress we've made so far, but we want to know what you think. You'll soon have plenty of opportunities to get involved, starting with our open technical alpha.
Yeah. I'm kind of going to breeze over this technical alpha part, which is the next section of the blog.
Don't forget to read about the closed alpha too, because that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I don't like it, but yeah.
It is interesting though.
So they're having an open technical alpha, which will be in a few months after they've made more progress and feel like it's ready for people to test. And so once they have made sufficient progress, what they're going to do is they're actually going to invite 20 specially selected players that are going to sign non-disclosure agreements and ask what they think about the actual mechanics once they've played it.
Okay. That's different though. That's the closed alpha, right?
This is
This
the
is two
closed.
different alphas.
Well, yeah, I said they're going to have it after
Oh.
they invite these people in to do
Okay.
this closed alpha part
What you guys
with
can see
NDAs.
is that we had to pause for a second, so I couldn't remember what he said before. And I was just like, "You're skipping."
Yeah, so this is the closed alpha that Michelle was referencing. They're going to have the 20 players give their opinion. I'm guessing, obviously, it's mostly going to be experienced players or streamers, whoever the player base they think is most apt to answer these questions, surely. But they say after the closed playtest, we'll evaluate the responses, take that with some feedback and warrant a few changes if they need to. And then the engine required to run the tech alphas will be implemented in the next available update. While it should mostly be invisible, there may be some unexpected game behavior, so be prepared for that.
Yeah, weird bugs.
Yeah, but they do have a disclaimer. They're saying that we decided to call it a technical alpha because this is going to be pretty unfinished, is what they're saying. This is really just to see if the train will even go on the tracks. They don't even know if the train itself will work or
Yeah, the
anything like
tracks are
that.
only 20 feet long.
Yeah, they're just making sure that these tracks can hold a train and it can go straight, is what they're saying. They just want to see if this will actually work with multiple boats because they seemingly only tested a few in one environment. So they want to see what it's like with multiple boats, multiple people, a server full of people. And I'm sure it's going to be a mess, but I hope that's what they expect because that's what it will be.
Sure. I mean, it's like a pre-beta.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of people don't. I think it's kind of skewed. Is a lot of games that are early access betas in Steam are essentially finished games, but yeah, like back in the day, beta games were like
Actually, beta.
they were for real unfinished,
Yeah,
and
the way
so
we talk about it now is like it sounds like you guys are just done, and
yeah.
there's like hot fixes, like tiny little things.
Yeah, like a lot of betas nowadays are like, all right, this game's done, and we're actually just adding additional content to it at this point, and we're just calling it a beta in case there's bugs.
Yeah.
Where this is going to
This
be
is a real beta, so much so they're calling it an alpha.
yeah, this is going to be a for real test. Like
Cool.
you're not supposed to enjoy your time playing it, so don't be like, "Oh, I need to hop on to have fun." Cuz
Yeah,
it's going to suck.
it's gonna be bare bones.
Yeah.
So navigation basics. What will you get up to in the technical alpha? First, you'll want to head to Port Sarum and speak with a wee fellow named Junior Jim, who will help you aboard your boat. To begin with, your boat will be small and contain a few basic facilities. On board, you can click to move around the boat and interact with objects on the deck. To start navigating, click on the rudder or wheel. In navigation mode, you can click the ocean to move your boat, kind of like we said earlier.
Yeah.
You'll notice that your character is no longer able to move around the boat by clicking. This is a feature we've implemented to avoid misclicks at sea. Unfortunately, it means you can't interact with facilities until you exit navigation mode. We're really keen to hear how this feels, so do play with it as you set sail. Your boat will always move at a certain speed, but you can make it faster by ensuring the sails are trimmed properly. You should notice that over time they begin to luff and wiggle in the wind. To trim them again, you'll need to disengage navigation mode and click on the sails, which will reward you with XP. Those of you who have been following sailing since refinement will spot that this is one of the core gameplay loops that we mentioned.
Why are you laughing?
Because I can't talk. A simple, repeatable action akin to chopping trees and woodcutting or cleaning herbs and herblore. And also kind of laughing because I remember whenever they said this, we're like, she's gonna go trim sails over and
Yeah, okay.
It's not gonna be the most exciting XP training, but that's okay.
They do go on and say you can earn XP in other ways by interacting.
Just be that.
Yeah, by interacting with like cannons on your boat, dredging nets, salvation stations, and more.
Salvation station.
Same thing, dude.
Sounds like a church.
I mean, whatever. Yeah, so you can salvage things like your religious beliefs or shipwrecks in this case.
Salvation station.
But yeah, not all of these facilities are going to be available during the alpha test. I think it's mainly just going to be shipwreck salvaging.
Yeah. Let's move on to some boat terminology.
Yeah.
So there's a few different roles. First being captain. So the original owner of the boat and the player who initially generated it. The captain controls boat facilities and any other customizable options such as boat cosmetics. Crewmate. Any other player on the boat. While crew management isn't part of the technical alpha, later you'll be able to acquire NPC crewmates too. And navigator, a player who's allowed to navigate the boat. This role is either appointed by the captain or the navigator when the captain leaves the boat.
Yeah. Then we have boat parts, sails. This will indicate whether the boat is catching wind, going full speed, or not.
Yeah,
Whether
you need to trim them.
Yeah, when they're not catching wind, they're luffing and must be trimmed.
I like the word luffing too.
Yeah, so weird. Rigging, the ropes attached to the sails. When the boat luffs, the player can interact with the rigging to catch the wind again. A wheel, I mean, yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory, but it's used for navigation. Yeah.
I was joking. I meant wheels on a car, but I realized that also fits the description correctly.
There's multiple wheels on a car. You got it right. Facility, a customizable functional feature on the boat.
Fully.
So you can see the core gameplay refinement blog to see how things like sails, dredge nets, cannons, and cargo holds can be upgraded. But yeah.
I mean, there's more. There's more.
I guess so.
Navigation controls. Using the wheel. A player must be stood at the wheel or rudder to steer the boat. Later, NPC crewmates will also be able to take the wheel if needed. Transferring control. By default, only the captain can use the wheel and navigate the boat. The captain has the ability to transfer navigation controls to any crewmate and can revoke this permission at any time. A navigator can transfer control back to the captain if the captain's on board. They can only transfer controls to another crewmate if the captain is not on board. So you're kind of like the little co-captain if you're the navigator.
Yeah, I guess so. Then we have embarking and disembarking. So you can board from a dock, and disembarking when no one is on the board will despawn the boat. For now, players can dock their boat at a port by speaking to Junior Jim.
Multiplayer. Other players can ask permission to board someone else's boat at port. You'll need to enter the name of the captain whose boat you'd like to board, and the boat must be at the same port.
Then leaving the boat.
Yep.
If the navigator on the boat leaves the boat by any means, controls are transferred to the captain, and if the captain leaves or disembarks, then the control is transferred to a random player on board.
It's kind of weird.
If no one's on board, then the boat despawns.
Teleport and death. Players can leave the boat by a number of means. Death, tele, log out, and manually choosing to alight at port or mooring points. When the last player on the boat leaves, it will despawn. If the captain leaves it any way other than desing while the players are aboard, a 5-minute timer will begin. If the captain does not return by the time the timer runs out, the boat will be disabled. It cannot be sailed, and the facilities on board cannot be interacted with. Other players can stay on the boat as long as they want or simply disembark by all the usual means. When the last person disembarks, the boat is removed.
Yeah.
So you just sit there and do nothing and wait.
So far we've talked a little bit about the base XP stuff as well as how multiplayers with boats is going to work.
I still don't know what I think. Don't ask me.
Oh.
I cannot imagine this. I cannot imagine how this is going to work.
Well, okay.
I need to play it, I think. I just need to wait until like the beta.
All right. Well,
What
I
are your
guess this is
thoughts?
gonna be a solo show because
It's
I'm
always
a
a solo
person
show.
with a thinking thought,
So I
and
don't have a thinking thought?
apparently not on this. Do you?
Sounds
All
fine.
right. Okay.
I'm just
Um,
passionate.
so number one, and this is something I brought up to Michelle earlier, is that I feel like the primary example they give for earning XP is kind of lame.
Okay, I have thoughts.
Yeah, and so for in case you're not familiar with what we just said, every
Trimming the luffing
yeah, you're gonna
sails.
go into navigation mode, be like, I want to go to this island over here, and then every, let's say, 15 seconds or 30 seconds, you're gonna have to click on the sails to rejig them so you're, sailing at optimal speed. That's the
Okay.
main XP loop.
I don't think that's. I know what you mean by the main XP loop. It's gonna be like there. It's something you're constantly doing, but I don't think this is going to be a significant XP thing
No, yeah,
because they even compare it to cleaning herbs. Like it's something that you have to do, but it's such passive XP that you don't even consider part of training.
sure,
It's just something
maybe.
that happens.
Maybe, but they do also compare it to wood cutting, and that is the primary way
These
you
are
earn
two very
XP.
different things to compare it
Yeah,
to
that
be
is
fair.
the very main way to earn
We
XP.
know that trimming sales is not going to be the main thing, though. They've said so many times in the past that there's going to be so many things.
There's going to be many things. I mean, there's like,
We've had this discussion, I think, about trimming the luffing sales.
I
I just
mean,
like to say it's fun.
there's going to be a lot of different ways, but I wonder if it'll be like how there's a lot of ways to do like fishing, I guess, but it really boils down to the same thing. I don't know.
I just think it's going to be such minimal XP. It's going to be something that you're always doing because it's necessary, like how irons, or I mean, anyone could just go and clean herbs because you have to. But you don't really think about it. You're just like, all right, I need to clean these herbs so I can do the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, I guess
That's what I'm
so.
thinking about it.
I don't know. I
I'm
guess I'm
choosing to be
hoping
positive here.
I'm hoping the other things are going to be the primary way to level it up because if
Imagine this being more XP than salvaging ships. Like, there's no way.
I mean
There's no buffing sales.
they literally compared it to chopping trees and wood cutting.
I feel like that was a mistake
They
because
said
if
a
it's
simple, repeatable action akin to chopping trees and wood cutting.
yeah, I mean maybe they just mean in how simple it is because you're just like clicking it once. I just don't think. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be like a big XP thing.
Yeah, my main worry is that this is
Your main skilling is gonna be trimming sales.
my main worry
Right?
is that this is agility 2,
Stop it.
which currently is you just clicking every once in a while and then you come across, a particular course, a wilderness course or the sepulcher that you're like, all right, this is cooler. And then you get access to that and then you never do the base thing again or something like that.
If it is like agility, at least it seems like you'll have a lot more sepulcher esque options.
Yeah, I guess so. But I guess that's my main concern. And my
Okay.
second is not that a really like concern, but something that I'm like not really on board with, I guess pun semi intended,
On board.
is I don't really like that you can have people on your boat.
That's something that I think we voted on, or like people expressed that they wanted that. So I think you missed
Really?
your chance on that.
I don't really like the idea of that,
I think
mostly
it was food
because,
tech stuff we were talking about if it'd be instanced or not.
well, sure, but I just don't think that really, like, I don't really see how that would be interesting or useful or anything like that.
I mean, there's gonna be cosmetics, so I imagine it's like a POH almost, like flexing on people.
Yeah, I guess so. I
I
don't
think having
know.
people be your crewmates though is kind of gonna be weird.
Yeah, that's why I'm all like, are you gonna get XP for them doing stuff? Are they taking away potential XP from you, or are they just there for the ride? I mean, I guess that would be okay if they were just there, but then I don't know, that's still kind of like
Yeah,
whatever, I
I'm
guess.
sure we'll get answers on it eventually, but a lot of questions left after reading all these.
Yeah, yeah, definitely still not sure on the other people on your boat,
Um, there's actually a lot of stuff that I was excited about in this blog though.
which is all the islands.
Yeah, sailing and islands. During refinement, we explained that islands and other points of interest will be a major part of sailing's reward space. There's a thing we're going to argue about later a little bit. Not argue, but I've thought of another way to word it.
Okay,
You'll understand soon.
there's already arguing.
Wow.
You said it.
I didn't mean arguing. Islands contain all sorts of exciting stuff, from fearsome bosses to exciting ways to train your skills, but they also present a thrilling opportunity to discover and unlock some new content as part of a bigger adventure. You could be the first person to stumble upon a new location, or you can set sail with friends in search of new challenges you've only heard rumors about. Islands are diverse, and there's sure to be one for every kind of player. To give you a taste of what islands have to offer, we're going to share a few early ideas, although we're not ready to lace you the full designs yet. So we'll just go from island to island.
Sure.
I'm really excited
So
about these islands.
yeah, there's like 5 different kinds of islands. I'll start off with the first one being Pandemonium. It's a large ship that crashed because the captain sucked.
He's
Um,
an incompetent pirate named Squawking Steve Beanie.
yeah, so they crashed their boat into a rocky islet. Is it islet or islet?
Islet. I'd imagine islet,
I don't know.
because it's not island.
Yeah, that's very true. But islet is also the
Like a
name of,
shoelace thing.
yeah, that's an aglet. But an islet is I think the eyelet is like the eye of a needle or something like that.
It's a tiny
Like it's
island.
a thing. Anyways, this crash boat is there, and now it's a colorful bar where
This is really cool.
first time sailors and veterans alike can come get advice, see, and try to meet new crewmates or get a drink.
Yeah. Next is the Great Conch, the one I'm easily the most excited for. So you'll remember the Great Conch from our initial sailing blocks, where we also introduced the island's shelled inhabitants, the Tortugans. It's a bunch of
The
turtles.
girdles.
The Girdles, the Skildpadda. They're a friendly group of turtle folk who are in terrible danger from the griffins stalking the island's skies. In your time on the island, you'll help them out, earn their trust, and learn from their way of life. Aside from a new quest series, this large island brings new skilling methods for thieving, fletching, and hunter, as well as new resources to gather.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Next.
The next one is going to be the Cursed Archipelago.
I'm excited that you said because I don't know how to pronounce that word.
Well, yeah, I think you can say archipelago as well, but I
I was
just
gonna say like
prefer
archipelago.
No, that's wrong. It's just archipelago.
I thought you keep stuttering while you say you can't even say it one.
Wow, that's really mean.
Archipelago.
Anyways, so it's a cursed archipelago.
Oh,
So, like the name says, since it's accursed, or since it has the accursed lair of Rabbit Jack and his zombie crew, you'll pay a visit as part of a backported pirate storyline. Well, that's kind of cool. So
continuing it.
you might be familiar with the storyline. Although, as always, there's an old school twist and makes exploring the archipelago a totally new experience. These 7 islands were once a bustling fishing community, but not anymore. So, whatever they're protecting must be worth a great deal, so you can go check it out.
This next one also sounds really cool to me. So this is the Shrieking Rock. Until recently, smugglers used this natural cave system as a hideout to store their ill-gotten goods. But when they expanded further into the caverns, they awakened an ancient evil. This is my second take. I accidentally swore in the first one. Peering into the darkness, they found the darkness staring back. And before they could escape, monsters poured from the shadows and dragged them back into the gloom. Since then, laughing. The island has been abandoned, but sailors claim that on moonless nights you can still hear the screams of the unfortunate smugglers echoing from the cave mouth. Do you dare learn the secret of Shrieking Rock? I thought it was cool and scary and you're laughing.
No, it's just so funny. Like it's just staring into the darkness and it stares back.
Like a butt or
Yeah,
something.
I am. You just stare into the dark eye and it just looks back at you, dude.
Day I've talked to him on his break this week and he starts laughing and he's thinking about this video that he watched of someone farting in their cat's face 3 times and the cat just sits there. The cat was staring into the darkness.
And it was staring back.
Oh my god.
Anyways, this island does look like a skull, by the way.
Wait. Oh my god, I didn't even notice. It's like a loose skull.
It's
Sounds
definitely,
gross.
yeah, definitely a regular skull, you demon. Anyways, the last island is called Kelifos. This sunny island paradise has recently experienced an influx of new players. It's pretty much,
New visitors.
yeah, it's the most basic island of all of them. Help to restore the balance. This island could become your home away from home, with it being the new POH portal island,
And Island Wall Kit.
an island wall kit. There you go. Watch out for the cheeky crabs.
Do you think there'll be a crab boss?
No.
Oh, well, I feel like they're hinting.
Okay.
Community consultation on islands. That's all the information we can share about them for now. Community feedback has been integral to sailing, and to ensure that you've got all the information you need to tell us your thoughts, we'll only return to the island discussion once we're further along in development. We've had some fantastic ideas, but before we can have the all-important discussions about balancing an experience with you, we need to ensure that sailing stands by itself. Islands are full of new experiences and top-level resources, a strong reason to train sailing, but we don't want to give anyone the impression that this is a skill you're forced to train to get access to all these new experiences and high-tier resources. First, we want to show you that sailing is a skill that you train because it's fun. This is where we were arguing today. Did you even catch that I said that?
Yeah, but it's not. I don't think it's a real argument. It's just a weird sentence.
He's worried that you are not going to have skilling requirements to get to these islands.
Yeah.
But can I say I thought of a new way to read it?
Sure.
I'm reaching, okay? I'm reaching because I want to imagine you have to train skilling to do this.
Yeah.
Wait, train sailing to do this.
Yeah, and so just to be extremely clear, we're talking about the sentence in particular.
We talked about this sentence for like 20 minutes today.
Where they say, islands are full of new experiences and top-level resources. A strong reason to train sailing. But we don't want to give anyone the impression that this is a skill you're forced to train to get access to any of these new experiences and high-tier resources.
That's it. They're saying that the skill is going to be fun outside of islands. You're not going to be forced to train it to go to islands. You're going to want to train it and have fun training at other places. That's what they meant. I don't even think I'm reaching.
I mean, maybe.
Given context, because they're talking about they're not going to think about islands for a little bit, and how they think that they're doing some fun stuff otherwise, and that will stand by itself. So I think that what they're saying is it's not all going to be islands. You guys are going to enjoy the skill.
Dude, you guys are going to love trimming these sails, bro. You're going to find so much trash out in the ocean. It's going to be sick. You're going to be blasting cannons. There's going to be monsters over there, dude. It's going to be crazy.
That should be kind of cool, blasting cannons and monsters.
Yeah, that's like the only interesting part.
Oh, he's a little
but
I do think it'll be locked behind sailing. I think that that's probably what they meant.
Yeah.
We were concerned that just anyone would be able to go to any island they want without having a level sailing.
Yeah, well, what it seemed like to me is that like it's going to have all these new experiences and high tier resources, and they're going to have like no sailing requirement or something like that.
I don't think that's it. I really think it's just they're saying you're going to want to train it for so many reasons, not just for islands. But to be honest, like, we're only going to train it for islands.
Yeah, that's a very crazy presumptuous thing to say.
There's Tortugans, and I'm not going to spend the entire skill grinding to meet them. I'm grinding it to meet the Tortugans.
Yeah, and also, the thing is, I think a lot of people were taking this in the way that they were thinking. I wasn't thinking this, but I saw other people say that this is the way it sounded, is like, there's not going to be anything worth blasting out XP to go and get. Like, for instance, let's pretend there's like an AGS for the first time ever in the game, and it only came from level 83 like sailing. It made it seem like there would be no item like that. Like, there's like no like reason for you to get to like 85 sailing.
No, I really don't think that's it. But I want to say I love how they just put this regular old paragraph and everyone is reading so deeply between the lines here. No one knows exactly what they mean. I would like to think my way is correct, because my way is the most optimistic way that I feel like they'd say, you know?
Yeah.
Just being like, yeah, you want to train it for funds.
Yeah, that's possible.
No, I want Reddit comments, Robert. This is going to be heinous.
No, I just want to see what other people are talking about so I don't forget.
Sure.
The number one, and this is because we're pretty much towards the end of this, they even say that's a wrap on the sailing update blog.
Yeah, let's just end the blog real quick then.
Yeah, the next time we give you more details will be in the open technical, which will be a few months from now, so...
Yeah, they do say, if we're able to, we'd like to also talk about how far along we are with the primary gameplay, including port task, Barracuda triangles, Barracuda trials.
Barracuda squares, octagons. I mean, we even have circles.
I didn't even say Barracuda, I said Barracuda triangles.
Dude.
and shipwreck salvaging, as well as our intended player journey from 1 to 99. Note that primary gameplay is heavily dependent on our work with the technical alpha phase, so we're not sure yet when we'll be ready to talk about it, but hopefully very soon. And they are having a Twitch live stream on Monday, May 20th for a sailing Q&A.
Yeah.
That's it for the blog, but we'll read a little bit.
Yeah, just a couple things to get them out of the way, because I'm sure these aren't the only questions that people had.
Just want to say that the Barracuda trials and all the other stuff are other skilling things other than luffing.
Not the hexagon? Anyways, the number one question on the subreddit for this post is, it's because you don't have it in dark mode.
Because I don't go on Reddit.
It's literally one switch. Now it's dark.
I stopped going on Reddit when someone made fun of my tattoo.
Yeah, kind of embarrassing. So the number one question is sailing going to be instanced?
No.
Yeah, because I don't see how this is going to work with multiple ships in the same area at once without it looking like a mess. And essentially, Mod Light replied and was like, yo, we're not going to allow you to essentially see everyone, is what they're currently kind of thinking.
Yeah, they're looking to limit the amount of ships that are visible in an area at a time to avoid these problems, but it's something that they can't answer with certainty right now.
Yeah. This reminds me a lot, and you're going to have a field day with what this is named in World of Warcraft. So World of Warcraft obviously has an immense amount of players in it, and whenever a new thing comes out, they're all in the same place. So they've dealt with this before. Okay. What they use is they don't have, they have like a base server that you're on, and you can't jump to other servers like RuneScape.
No other worlds.
No other worlds. So in order for them to overcome this, what they do is only a certain amount of people are visible in a certain area, even if they're all there. And it essentially breaks the game into multiple like mini servers, kind of like how if you jumped to another world in RuneScape, but like if each world had its own mini server, so that like, let's say 1,000 people were in the same place, it would actually be like 100 instances of 10 people in each one.
Oh, I just did it like a lot more than 1,000.
Yeah, 100 times 100 is definitely not 1,000.
I mean, it's kind of like what I was saying before. Whenever shooting stars became more popular, like you see some people and you don't, but we're all actually there.
Yeah,
it's like imprints.
Yeah,
ghosties.
But anyways, in World of Warcraft, you might like the name of this. It's called. Think about it before you just immediately start laughing. It's called. Dude, I know you're gonna laugh.
I'm not gonna laugh.
Okay, it's called.
You're gonna be like buttholes or something.
Dude,
look at me when you say it. Look at me.
It's called sharding.
No, like that's actually not funny. Like that's really not funny. Why would I laugh at that? That's not funny. That's really serious.
I expected you to laugh a lot more.
You sound like you're crying. The noise I made at first, my weird little laugh noise that sounded shocked, it hurt my throat, so that's why I'm not laughing anymore. I just injured myself because you said sharding.
Yeah. Well, the way they think about it is like
I'm in tears right now.
The way they think about it is the main server is like a crystal, and then it breaks into a bunch of shards.
Yeah.
And so that's why they call it sharding.
Oh, it's sharding. I thought with a T.
No, it's shard. SHARD.
ART, yeah.
Yeah, sharding.
No, sharding. That's why I was like, why'd they name it that?
Yeah.
No, like that wasn't that funny though.
Okay.
We should name it our sharting.
Yeah, but that was really just the main question that I wanted to address because it was the most, or one of the most upvoted ones. A lot of other people are just saying like, oh, take 100,000 years to do this if you need to. There's like actually like 1 million posts saying that.
It's nice that no one's being annoying and being like, I want it now.
Yeah, and a lot of other people are like, oh, the boats are kind of like awkwardly big or something like that. So
yeah, I think they're not really even working on the designs yet technically, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. So overall, I think the reception was okay. I did think there was a little like too much fluff. I think this is what I told Michelle is I think because the base stuff they'd been working on was not that interesting. in their opinion, and they didn't really do a good job highlighting it. So they kind of seem like they were trying to distract everyone by showing off the islands early.
Well, to be fair, this kind of blog is not something I'm interested in. This is definitely interesting to people who care about the technical side. I don't care about the technical side.
Yeah,
I just want to hear about the fluff. Straight up. Just tell me about the island. Show me the Tortugans again. What's the one's name?
yeah.
I don't know. She was cute. Show me her again.
I guess I would have been nice if they had the
You would have been
island stuff
nice.
for people like you, and also like more.
Oh, people like me, idiots?
You you said it.
That is a weird self.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, I literally didn't say
I'm
that.
giggly. We need to finish recording this.
But yeah, so I guess check out the rest of the people on Reddit and see what they have to say if you really care, or just wait a few months and we'll all see with the technical alpha.
Yes.
But yeah, that's it. So we can move on to the Q&A.
Yeah, we just have a couple questions this week. First is Hard Girl over on Discord. We haven't not read these questions yet, by the way. So
Yeah, they
we'll see.
could be absolutely unhinged
They're
for all
like,
we.
who do you want to kill? Anyway, do you think if sailing is well received, particularly in the aspect of movement, it will reopen discussions of introducing horseback riding into the game? Side note, I never knew that was a discussion.
It's funny because I immediately thought of Tina from Bob's Burgers.
The hobby horses thing. Do you know what hobby horses is?
No.
That's whenever they have the fake horses and they go and ride them to show off their stances and stuff.
Oh,
There's an episode of Bob's Burgers where Tina is at a horse riding camp and her horse like rides away and she's just going and like pretending to ride a horse running around
yeah.
galloping.
It's an invisible horse.
There's nothing actually. There's in her imagination. I just remember one of the coaches watching me like, God, her form is perfect.
Yeah.
I want that. And it's reminding me of Stardew. There's horses, and there's a mod that you can make the horses look like one of the neighbors in Stardew. I want it. It looks like Pam.
Okay.
Okay. There's a second question. Let's answer this first. I don't want horseback riding.
Yeah, I don't really see a use for mounts in this game considering there's like 2 million different teleports.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really even know. Like, would it just be running but faster? I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
I just can't imagine it in the game.
I just imagine it's like a mount in any other game, which just makes you
Where do you
run
like
faster.
equip it though?
What do you mean?
Like, where is it? Just like sit in your inventory? Like,
It's just a
how does
thing.
it work in RuneScape? Is what I'm wondering.
I think it would work exactly how it works in every other game where they find some method that isn't insane. Like, oh, maybe your magic spell book gives you a spell to summon a horse and you jump on
Ghost
it.
horse would be cool.
Sure, whatever you
The
want.
horse thrall. I don't think I actually like that, to be honest.
I just don't think it's necessary, and it doesn't really seem very RuneScapey. So,
Hmm.
um, and or is this the other question?
Yeah, you could read it.
The one right below it.
Yeah, the by the way.
Oh yeah. So Harger says, by the way, are you fans of horseback riding being in the game,
Which one
including
can I
a
answer?
stable in your POH, feeding them properly, combat, different horse breeds, and riding equipment that you can make with crafting and armor can make with smithing?
Post like all the POH stuff if they made it like relevant to like Hunter or something, maybe.
Yeah, I would be more on board with hunter or animal husbandry, it being a
We
part of
liked the
that.
animal husbandry ideas.
Yeah, it being just like a
Not a
mount is kind of weird and doesn't really seem to have a place in RuneScape that wouldn't just be like shoehorned in like, oh, people in the Middle Ages had horses. Um,
I actually like the idea of maybe it's similar to Hunter like the Falcon. Like you only use it in like one designated area, but
yeah.
like unlike the Falcon, you take care of it and you
Sure.
love it. But that also
Um,
doesn't feel very RuneScape at the same time
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
because
you
it
could,
feels almost like a daily.
yeah, it doesn't really. I think kind of like because it is so like different, kind of like sailing. It doesn't really, honestly, kind of feel like part of RuneScape.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I'm sure you could make it part of the game and it not feel terrible.
Yeah.
And in that case, I wouldn't be against it. I don't know if I'd necessarily be like excited about it, but I wouldn't be against
You'd be
it.
like, whatever.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, cool. But yeah, I think it would be cooler like getting all the stuff for it than like actually doing horse stuff.
Just doing horse stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. Like it seems like it'd be cooler to like deck out my horse than like actually ride it around or something.
Yeah, I think just I can't imagine mounts in RuneScape. It just sounds weird to me. I mean, maybe it's something that could work if it's implemented well, but I also have a very bad imagination with stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, meh.
But yeah, that's all I think about that.
Sorry, I'm like not reading the next question because I almost died.
I'll read the next question.
You never read the questions. Let's go.
Shout out to Matt on Discord. It says, would you support a new player-owned house room called the greenhouse, where you can upkeep a perfect climate for certain plants, increasing the rate that you grow it? It requires more maintenance than the average farming patch. Question. Okay, yeah, so that's it.
I mean, I'm actually okay with that because I
Uh,
like farming.
yeah.
But again, I think farming inside of your house might be kind of weird. I like the idea of adding PUH rooms for like fun stuff or stuff that you just use briefly. Something like a greenhouse, I feel like you'd want to stay there for a while. I could see this being an addition to the farming guild,
Yeah.
and that could be kind of cool, like adding a greenhouse to one of the corners.
Yeah, I'm never a fan of things that take players out of the world.
Yeah, I
I
mean, like I liked the music room idea because that was like just for fun. But if it's like the meta,
even then I don't know.
you really like that
I'm
idea.
more of a fan of shared instance stuff if we have to have it,
Hmm.
because I think one of the things that, kind of quote unquote ruined like World of Warcraft, for example, is that um, there's just so many less people in the world as
Hmm.
the game progressed because of one, because of sharding and making it so there's just actually less people
Yeah,
there.
like there's too much sharding going on.
And two, because a lot of the time you're just like either in town or in a dungeon slash raid, which is
It's
instanced.
it's nice running around and seeing people places.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it feel like people are playing this game, they're in the world, doing stuff out in the open, which makes the game feel like it's being played.
Yeah, we don't want it to feel like a speed running world in every world.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not a big fan of stuff in the POH and making the POH even more useful than it already is, which I think is kind of too much already.
Okay.
Is not not my biggest thing.
Yeah. Question for in real life. If you have time, we have time. What was your favorite movie you saw for Discord movie night so far?
Oh,
What's yours?
none of them. I don't really watch them.
You watched a few. The ones you watch are always weird.
No, I don't. I watch the ones that are funny.
Yeah, the weird ones.
Yeah, she never. Oh, just so everyone knows, she and whoever else watches the movies don't like funny movies usually.
So we do scary movie nights on Thursdays, and then Saturday we do variety because everyone on Thursdays like, why can't we watch regular movies? And me and Ninja are like, scary movies only. If we could watch scary movies on Saturday too, I'm pretty sure that's all me and Ninja would suggest. But for everyone else's benefit, we watch other movies, whether that's
Yeah.
comedies, dramas, whatever.
But yeah, I guess we watched like a comedy one time. I forgot what it
None of the
was.
Rooks way.
Did we watch that?
That was the first movie I think we ever watched,
Oh,
or one
yeah.
of.
I mean, that was probably a pretty good one.
That was a pretty good one.
There's another one that I picked that was like a classic that everyone watched. I
Is it the
forgot.
Professor Nutty?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
That was last week.
What? Yeah,
It's
that
like
was like last week.
90s, so
No, I forgot what it was, but yeah, I've only selected like two movies or watched two movies. They're both comedies, so I don't know. I don't really watch movies in general, and definitely,
not with us.
yeah, definitely not the kind that you guys like to watch.
He could suggest movies. We do polls.
They
To be
lose
fair,
because you guys only like to watch certain types of movies.
to be fair, a lot of my suggestions also lose. I can't think of a favorite right now, but there was one movie that we watched that I even today thought of like one part of it that really scared me. I think it was called like something with like spiders or something, but I don't remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of it, but it's something to do with spiders, and it's like a little kid in his creepy house, and his parents are like weird and controlling, and yeah, one part of it like really freaked me out. Like that night, I kept thinking about it and had to look up to be like,
Did
she's not there.
Spoderman got you?
No, Robert. If you saw it, you'd understand.
It's probably not even scary.
It's really scary.
Yeah, scary movies aren't scary.
And another one,
Yeah.
Ouija, The Origin. That one really creeped
They
me
didn't
out.
even spell Ouija right.
Yes, they did.
It's like French or something.
Ouija.
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 But
That one's pretty good too. My
yeah,
favorites are all the scary ones.
I don't know. What's your favorite movies? Let us know.
I think you're asking me, and I was like, I just answered.
No, well, that's not your favorite movie. But
I don't even know
yeah,
if you
let
have
us know your
these.
favorite movie. If you have any recommendations, let us know on all of our socials.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was the segue. Our TikTok and Twitter are Bunebapeosrs. Our Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch are all Bunebape. I stream 5 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape. Reminder, next week, no podcast episode, probably, because my face will be swollen, I'm assuming. And if you do stop by the stream, I'm probably going to be off like Tuesday and Wednesday night, I imagine. But yeah, that's it. And then I don't stream Thursdays.
Yep, so that's going to be about it. Thanks again for listening. Let us know any questions you might have or anything like that for next week. And hopefully you all enjoyed it. So we'll see you all
very soon. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.